Did he? Does he? Is he still with us, Cozy? Or
No, he's not with us anymore either.
Yeah.
So, but he lived a good few years after. Hang on, when did he pass away? He lived another. Oh gosh, more than 10 years.
Well, okay. I had a relative who the wife looked after the husband as he was in for 2 years in sort of chronic pain.
No, it was the wife who had multiple sclerosis.
Yeah. But when he died, she told me at his funeral that she'd also got cancer and she hadn't told anybody. And she died a month later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. You know, married couples live longer. Because you
Hang
get to a point where you're like, fuck off, I'm not dying first.
Men live longer if they're married. Women don't.
Live shorter.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Really?
Married women have a shorter life expectancy than unmarried women.
That makes so much sense.
So
that makes so much sense.
I've always felt that men get the better deal out of marriage.
Yeah, that's my line. I'm against gay marriage, but it's okay. I'm against all marriage.
They make us sell the motorcycle. They make you sell the sports car. No more bungee jumping, no more skydiving. Yeah, you'll live longer, a boring, long life with no adventures because she hates on you. Every time you and the fellas, hey, let's put a little extra gas on the fire there to see if it's funny, you know.
Yeah,
and then here they come.
Like the barbecue, flammable, liquid, lighter.
Please never, ever, ever put petrol on an open flame.
Don't ever do it.
Don't ever do it. You will take your arm off.
That's not the way assisted dying works.
They see someone squirting like lighter fluid on a fire or kerosene on a fire. British pounds, but like that's fine. Petrol though, oh my god! Like
with this new law, if a woman hands a man a can of petrol while there's a barbecue going on, that's now legal, I guess.
No, that's illegal. No, because that's coercion.
And the girls are fighting, aren't they?
Oh my!
Tim Ballon dropped a super chat in a while ago saying, "Dream on, Mikey." Mikey, I've got no idea what Tim's referring to. I'm sorry. What were
you dreaming on about?
What were you dreaming on about?
Probably about the little one and her behaving
Mikey,
herself.
you on mute?
Oh, oh yeah.
I think he's talking.
Yeah,
to,
I've muted
whatever he calls his child. What was it you called
whatever
your child?
He calls his child
or something.
Jeez, Louise.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot what you called it.
Stinky Boo.
Stinky Mama.
Stinky Mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
Probably on the dream that I can wrangle her for the afternoon. So that's probably what I'm going to fail at today.
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
Yeah.
Air horns for Billy in the chat.
And today's failure is brought to you by.
There's always something where I'm like, how did you figure out that even? Oh, give me the batteries. Like, how did you even find that? Like, what is going on? She took my phone and put it with a bottle of water, the wipes, and all the stuff that she could burgle, and she just lined them all up nicely on the cocktail. I'm like,
is she a magpie?
Yes. And I was like, so did you damage all this stuff? Like, why is this all here? She's like, it's just there. What do you mean? I didn't do nothing.
These are my treasures.
She's like Ariel, just collecting my shit and just stealing it and putting it in another place. I'm like, where the hell is the remote? And then I see the back of the remote. I'm like, where's the other piece? Why don't you speak English?
Hey, Ollie's entered the chat. Hey, Ollie, how you doing?
Hey, Ollie.
I'm good. How are we doing?
Ollie in Canada. So we've got Canada represented, we've got Germany represented, we've got America represented.
Bavaria.
American Brit represent. I mean, this is brilliant.
Are we in a minority, Graham? Here? We're like
There's only like
you're in a minority. You're obviously a victim.
There's only
I'm from Liverpool. I'm barely English to start
great replacement, darling.
We need a hashtag, Graham. Quick.
How many people live? How many people total live in like the UK?
About 68 million.
60,
give or take a million.
Yeah,
67, 68.
67, 68 thereabouts.
So y'all are like the population of New York State.
Probably. State.
The population of New York State? No. California's the biggest with not 40 million, isn't it?
So y'all got two. Quick, so y'all are like Illinois.
Sue the internet.
So Illinois and New York.
Maybe.
New York is 8.2 million, so a bit.
But isn't that the city?
No,
that's the city. Yeah.
We've definitely got more
New York
castles.
State. Oh no, it's a city in New York. Why is it giving me New York City? Oh, because it's got the same name. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, okay.
It thought
New York
you
State.
did ask that.
Ooh, population 19 million, 19.8 million.
There you go.
Apparently, it's rank. Oh no, it says rank 4th. I don't know what it's 4th for. Let's have a look. List
What
of U.S.
largest
states
state?
and territories by population.
Fourth
Oh,
largest.
okay. Pop quiz. New York is 4th. What
Okay.
are the top 3?
Well, one of them
California.
is California because you've just
Yes,
said that.
yeah, you
With
kind of
39.4
What are
million.
the
Is it-
other
is it the
two? Yeah.
Mikey thinks it's Illinois, I think.
I didn't.
Nope.
I'm not answering.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yes,
Texas might be a good
Texas
guess.
number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Texas-
31.2
Texas is-
million.
So it's California,
Texas.
Texas.
Texas is
Yeah.
huge. You can drive
And
for
then
8 hours in
What's
Texas.
bigger than New York? This is quite surprising, actually.
Washington.
Is it Florida?
Yes, it's Florida.
Yeah,
Is
there
it?
It's
Really?
Flo Rida.
Wow.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people down
Wow.
there.
Hey,
all the
Rachel's
old
joined the
fogies in
chat.
retirement.
Hey, hey, Rachel. Rachel's on the bridge
you,
of Lake
gorgeous?
7.
Billy guessed Hawaii. Billy, this is why we have to start charging for
Why?
guesses. They got
That's
Like,
like guessing
really?
Prince Edward Island is the biggest
Yeah, province.
province in Canada. Go on.
Rhode Island. They're just very tall apartments. Very tall.
So now that Rachel's here, I want to talk about something that happened this week that's kind of relevant. Steve,
Are we missing
Stephen
a
Fry?
state?
Stephen Fry's woken up. What the
Oh my
fuck?
god!
What?
Yeah.
Stephen Fry's woken up and gone, oh, hang on, that J.K. Rowling.
What's
she's
number
a
3?
knobhead.
Hey, do you
When did
think
that
you watched
happen?
our? Do you think
He
you
was
watched our
about MTV without
podcast
the
last
key
week?
At one point.
What's number
Last
3?
week we discussed this, and suddenly it's changed. I'm just saying we're very influential.
We are. We
What do
do
you think,
have-
Rach?
Well, I mean, you know, he went on the Trigonometry podcast and didn't like Stonewall.
Am I
you know,
losing
he
my
hung
mind?
around
They didn't
with
say
some
number
hot
3, right?
right-wing
What was number
types and
3?
Shaved his hair, and we all thought he was going to be
California,
you know,
Texas, number
kind
3.
of one of those
And
privileged
then New
gay
York.
guys that
What's
move to
number
the right
3?
and go, you know, I'm all right, fuck trans people. But now he's actually come out and said, well, J.K. Rowling's been radicalized by the TERF movement and she's lost. And that was
Yeah.
made.
Yes. I mean,
I think he's still got a long way to go to make up.
the obvious, really.
Yeah, a long way. And he did say
Being a
that
twat.
I mean, he kind of said, you know, the abuse that she's had has radicalized her as well. I mean, the fact is the trans community don't want to go into the darkness quietly. They want to fight back. We don't, you know, like, you know, the head of the Equality and Human Rights Committee saying, well, you know, trans people don't have Article 8 rights and they really should just be very quiet while we take all their rights away. And well, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to fight until we can't. And so, yeah, people have come at J.K. Rowling, but you know, she's a billionaire living in a castle. And trans people don't have, a lot of us don't have very much, and we're going to fight until you lock us up and stop us fighting. And so,
Don't they give you castles when you transition?
well, no,
I-
they
I'm
can't.
sure I read
when
that
you're a
somewhere,
massive
Rachel.
transphobe, you get a castle.
I'm
Didn't
sure
get
I
the
read
castle
that.
token. Didn't get it. Missed it out. Got the luncheon bounce.
You gotta find the.
Did it get
You
lost
gotta.
in the post?
You gotta get the
That
castle
was-
with the big star on the front, and then you get the
True.
power. That's how you do
And
it.
it's
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah.
I saw an American school teacher, and she did a TikTok where she was going, "We don't have the money for fucking pens and for notebooks for the children. We don't have the pens. We don't have the money for textbooks.
our
We don't have the
elbows
money
up,
for
bud.
computers, or we don't have the money for note. What are they called? iPads. We don't have the, but we have the money to transition every child that comes into
Look.
our elementary school.
Look,
You don't get
you
much
gotta
change.
you gotta prioritize the things that are important. Fuck
Yeah.
school lunch. Okay, we don't got time for that shit. We got tops and bottom surgeries. We gotta get hormone. This
We've
shit
got
is
an operation
expensive.
theatre here.
We got a
trying to
whole
give the cats
operating
the-
theater in the gymnasium. It
I
is
did a-
busy in here. We don't have
My
time for
degree
learning.
assignment, I was 11 days in hospital and 6 months off work when I went off to gender reassignment surgery. So you don't pop into school and they transy the kid and send them home the same day. That doesn't. You don't get gender reassignment surgery in a day. It took me 6 months of recovery pain and a lot of discomfort. So it doesn't happen in a day. So complete bollocks by the president of the
It's-
United States.
They got the new technology. They can do it overnight. They say they just give
Well, I
them a
want
pill.
that technology. 'Cause
Right.
I'll have a do-over.
Yeah.
You just take one pill and
Do me
overnight.
again.
Do it over without the pain, but more drugs.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
it's all in all though. It has been quite a momentous week with the
Yeah.
the change in the law about abortion, and now this change in the law
Yeah.
that's going through about assisted dying.
Yeah.
And also talking to my contacts in the Labour Party, I think their PIP fucking thing is, I think it's out of here.
Full.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to go through. I think there's at least 99 red balloons. Sorry, Labour MPs. Red
99.
balloons. See what I did there? Who are going to vote against it
Yeah.
if it goes through. So it won't go through because they're not going to put it up knowing that 99
Gonna
of their
lose.
own. Yeah, they're not going
These-
to put it up knowing it's going to lose.
These
Well,
these
and
are
also,
the-
if you just sorry, Mikey, but just ticking off the list of what Labour's done this week, the gangs inquiry and the change in the law as well to make sex with somebody under the age of 16 illegal. It's rape. It's regarded as rape from now on. There's three things that the Labour Party have actually done. They're making changes to the law about things that impact us socially. And then you look at, that's why I didn't really want to talk about the other stuff. Trump waffling on about bullshit all week, basically. It's like the Labour Party is actually one day, Monday we do this, Wednesday we've done this, and Friday we've done this, basically. That's a pretty busy week in government.
Yeah, they're still rubbish on trans. I'm going to say that. It's still rubbish.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they've done a lot of other good stuff. Yeah.
But now Stephen Fry's on the team. Maybe they'll switch, basically, once they
doubt
it.
feel the
I-
popular
Yeah.
shift.
Well, I think that I honestly, you might think I'm being a bit naive here, but I still think that Stephen Fry's got a lot of penance to do for what he's been saying last few years, to say the least. But I do think
Good way
it's a
of putting
turning
it.
point. I really think it's a turning point because you're seeing a lot of people who have either shied away from the debate or not gotten involved.
Yeah.
James O'Brien defense, all things apart from the trans thing. I'm not going to talk about that, and they're actually talking about it now, and they're actually prepared to say they've gone too far. This isn't right.
Thank you.
And I
Yeah,
think
there's a
that-
line crossed for a lot of people. A lot of people who've sort of hitherto kind of gone, it doesn't affect me, and been able to sort of keep it at arm's length. Now they're kind of going, hang on a minute, this is getting silly now.
Yeah. I think
Which is good, and it's really helpful to see a little bit of allyship here and there.
Yeah, I think
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Cozy. I think the Guardian is still rubbish, but they have written.
Well, yeah, but
they've written a few good articles. I'm seeing a lot more commentators speak about it, which has been good. I've seen Baroness Faulkner had her ass handed to on a plate from 7 of the 9 Women and Equalities Committee. There are a load of court cases going in. We've got the Good Law Project going in. A lot of trans people are raising cases. A lot of cisgender women are very aware that they're getting affected by this now.
Yeah. This is starting to happen.
The Neon Project has started, and lots of cisgender women are signing that, and that's going to have another bump. Kate Nash has done not only the music video, but she did the great Brass Eye piss take.
Brass Eye piss take. That was so good.
I put that on. I didn't, but a friend of mine put that on Blue Sky, and it went viral. Thanks to Greg, who posted it, and that's been amazing.
It was a what piss take?
It was a Brass Eye piss. There was a show about 25 years ago. Oh my God, I'm old. In the UK called Brass Eye, and it was a piss take TV show.
Yeah.
And she did it in that kind of style where she was like,
where she was going, she was like in a garden one minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the original sketch was the most notorious paedophile in the world had been put on a rocket and shot into space. Unfortunately, the ground station's commander's child was on board the ship as well by mistake, which is the one thing we didn't want to happen. And it was a piss take of the only turf in the United States, sent into space to find the only truly single sex planet and unfortunately there was a non-binary person on board the spaceship. One thing they didn't want to happen. It was a real
they went all the way into space and found a non-binary star. Alan Jackson says, if Stephen Fry decks streeting, it's instant penance done.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to say, Rachel, obviously we're all celebrating it, but obviously momentum needs to keep going.
Yeah.
The campaign's not over in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But it is a nice turning point, as Graham said.
It is. I think that the letter writing campaign from trans people, trans family members, and allies, and people that filling in the Equality and Human Rights Commission, which is a bitch because it's horrible to do. It takes about an hour doing that, writing to your women.
Oh, it's worth it though.
It is. Writing to the Women Inequalities Committee about the new appointment of the EHRC head, who's another gender critical person. The writing to MPs in general, it's overwhelmed, especially Labour MPs have been surprised.
But that's what I meant. I was thinking less of the press because I don't pay attention. But that sort of grassroots support and allyship.
Yeah.
That's where I'm really suddenly seeing a difference.
I'm seeing so much.
Finally, much to my relief, because I mean, I don't. You must be exhausted, Rachel. I know I'm knackered, but you must be.
You know, I'm not doing much more. I don't do much training anymore, as you know. I mean, I step back, keep ending up being in the Telegraph, but the fundraising I'm doing, and that's really up. And the fundraising just goes to UK trans organizations, and that's up. A lot of corporates are doing lots of training quietly, and people want to know what's going on. And I think just a lot of cisgender women are really, hang on a minute, we didn't get what we wanted with N20 on the abortion. Why was that? Why are we not getting, why are non-trans women being pushed out of toilets? Why are we having these problems? Why is the cisgender women are waking up and going, hang on, trans women, I've met trans women, or I haven't, but either way, they've never hassled me. So what is this about? And they're beginning to see that they're getting affected by this. And people only care about rights when it affects them.
Absolutely. Only when it bites their own bum.
Yeah. And women are beginning to see, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
They, in America, you're seeing women being denied of their voting rights, denied of their bodily autonomy. And that's here. Those organizations in America, thanks a lot, Mikey, are over here in the UK.
They're funding this crap here.
It's not Mikey's fault. Leave Mikey out of this.
I know, I'm joking.
It wasn't him.
Graham, I'm used to it.
And a lot of women, but a lot of women here are beginning to wake up. And I am busy. I'm off the grid, but I am, there's so much realization, and I am seeing so many people who wouldn't speak. You see the new Scott article about J.K. Rowling? They said that they called I think they called Sex Matters an anti-trans organization or something, and they said, and J.K. Rowling's called the Scott National Scott. They said they were unwomen friendly or anti-women. And the editor of that newspaper wrote an article saying, hang on a minute, we do criticize trans people sometimes. We do stand up for women's rights. We were pro, the abortion bills. How can you call us an anti-women newspaper? And they actually fought back, and it was a really good. I got to look. I think it's on the national. I think it's the National Scot, whatever it's called.
Not the Scotsman.
The Scotsman, it might have been the Scotsman. They wrote a really good art. The editor. It's most of the people that write for that newspaper are women, and they write about women. And it's called the National. We're not anti-women. It's the one thing we're not. And they stood up to. So there was another article that went out against JK this week. In addition to, so that was. And I'm seeing that people are going, hang on a minute, you're banging on about this all the time. Trans people, and there aren't many of us. Most people don't know trans people, but if they do, they know we're quiet and harmless. What the hell are you doing? And I think that people are waking up to that. And I think that's a positive thing.
I think what's important for allies and activists alike to remind people is that all of these social issues are not social issues. These are governmental overreaches into people's personal freedoms as a means of giving the people some red meat for the base because they can't figure out the economy, because they can't figure out foreign policy, because they can't they are not doing their job, so they're playing on the internet. You know what I mean? The fact that there's so many public figures on Twitter arguing 24/7 as opposed to crushing amounts of legislation and improvement in people's material conditions happening all the time. That is the thing that has changed in politics from like the 80s, 90s into today. Everyone just talks and runs their fucking mouth now. They don't do anything. And that's why a lot of parties are having a hard time trying to capture the base that they're so used to capturing. And why are these people voting this way? Because you haven't done shit. In 20, 30 years, you haven't done a goddamn thing. So when they get bombarded with social media and all the nonsense that's going on there, and your party has been sitting there taking the moral high ground whilst producing no results, they don't see a point in being moral. That's a
Yeah.
failure on left-leaning people's side. Like, you need to do the work. You can't just bullshit and put up a Juneteenth flag or some bullshit, and now all of a sudden everybody's supposed to vote for you. You can't get the fucking housing crisis under control. What's going on with the NHS? Why are we having all of these repeated investigations on people that are supposed to already be in jail?
Well,
Yeah.
This is their job, and they're not doing it because they're so busy worried about what's going on in the bathrooms, what's going on in sports,
Yeah.
You don't have
Enough.
time to worry about that. You have a motherfucking job that you suck at. And if anybody else did their fucking job to the level of efficiency that they did, they'd be fucking sacked. They'd be out on their fucking ass, on the curb, looking to get a ride home. Like, this is bullshit. And I think it's valuable to remind people that these politicians have an actual job, and their job is not to go around harassing people. You got shit that you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more. There was a really, really horrific story this week. Sorry, trigger warning for people watching, about a woman who had been declared legally dead like a couple of months ago, and they'd kept her body alive by pumping it full of chemicals in order to bring
life
a
support,
baby to term. It was Adriana Smith, the woman's name. It was in Georgia. And it is just mortifying that these so-called feminists are running around going, "Oh my God, trans people, while this kind of shit is going on." And you think, like,
You left out one important thing, though.
her color?
She's black.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Really? I didn't know that.
they don't even tell people. That's what I don't get. That's why you don't see these white women up in arms like, this is unjust. I can't believe it. Where's all the outrage from the middle-aged white women that were supposed to vote for Kamala? I told y'all that they racist, but don't nobody want to listen to me. There are serious problems with all three of our societies, right? 4 maybe.
Yeah.
And the problem is, people are still on some "I'm gonna take care of me, fuck you" shit. Okay, if that's the way it's gonna be, now you see the aggressive eroding of people's rights because no one's standing up and doing anything. They didn't even give a shit about this lady until, like, 10 weeks into this whole ordeal, and then it hits the news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Mikey, her family have been hit with the costs of all this, by the way.
Yep.
These do-badders who go out there and say, no, we've got to protect women's rights by taking the right to abortion away from them. They're not paying for it. They didn't set up a GoFundMe.
£2 British pounds from Tim Ballum says, "Don't the family have to pay the bills?" Yup. So you're gonna bankrupt them. Like, I couldn't. Like, I put myself in the situation for a very short amount of time, and I had to immediately get out of it. If my wife was in a car accident and she was pregnant, and I had to go through what that family is going through, I don't know that this Earth is safe. I would have been out in the backyard building the Death Star. The Earth is destroyed. All of your lives are forfeit if somebody put me through that shit.
Yeah.
To literally have my wife on life support, I can't pull the plug on her because a bunch of politicians say that's a life in there.
This
We got to
is
make
it.
sure it's
That's not compassionate. That is not humane. We need to consider the wishes of the individuals concerned. When I first heard about this story, I was reminded of another mum who was in a coma, but it was much later in the pregnancy, and gave birth while in a coma, and even breastfed in a coma, and came around and was very glad because that's what she would have wanted, and her relatives knew what she would have wanted. This case is very different. She was very early on in the pregnancy. I don't know if anybody knows what her wishes were, but the person most likely to know what her wishes were are her next of kin.
Yeah, her
And
family
they should
didn't
be
want
listened to.
it. They didn't want it. They didn't want
And
it.
if they say pull the plug, then I don't see what right a court has passed. I mean, or at least before the child is viable, before 25, 30 weeks. I mean, we're talking, this was really early on. Mikey, do you know
10
how far
weeks.
along she
It was
was?
10
Because from what I
10
gather,
weeks, I
it was
think.
really early on.
I think it was 10 weeks.
The kid was
10
just,
weeks.
the kid was just born a couple 2 days
Wasn't
ago, last
born.
night.
Okay.
One
Child
born.
can't be born if his mother's dead. I'm sorry. The
1
child
pound.
was ripped out of the course.
Okay.
pound.
So
1
it's-
pound. So what
very
kind of life is
premature.
now that this kid's gonna have with no
Probably not gonna
parents?
have one.
With no parents.
I'm
So-
probably disabled, probably blind
Yeah.
and deaf, and
If it lasts.
That's not a
But,
given.
I'm sorry. How much does that baby weigh?
A
1
pound.
Pound, but
It's not
that's
gonna live. It's not gonna.
babies. No,
Well,
that's
well, you don't know. They can. Yeah.
preemies. They
But-
can absolutely.
Preemies can fight.
but no one can claim this is natural.
It's not
This would
natural.
never
It's
happen
No,
in
but
nature.
it's a good thing that modern medicine can do this. It's a bad thing when it's dictated
Sorry.
to people by legislators or
Yeah.
or the judges.
I mean, if it was
rather
the
than-
Religious
husband
zealots.
or that was asking for it to happen, that's fine. But if it's the government insisting on it, it's
I
ridiculous.
mean, if she was in 10 weeks, she wouldn't even have had a dating scan yet. In the UK, she wouldn't even be considered properly pregnant yet.
Yeah,
No.
Hannah's saying
Yeah.
it was 9 weeks and she has a child already.
It
This
was
is
9
stupid.
weeks. Okay, that when
Yeah.
she fell when she got
So-
it when she whatever.
And so
was
this
in
is
the car crash.
So this is the other side of the no abortion coin. Because these dudes are 70-year-old white dudes who
Yeah.
have no idea what the human biology of pregnancy, even like what that entails. They just say and do dumb shit. It's like, okay, so what if she's miscarrying? Can she have an abortion to clear the uterus and save her life? Well, no. That'd be it's like you are so like you don't understand that even a normal pregnancy.
But to call a
might
DNC an abortion is also erroneous.
Right. But, but
Yeah.
I say abortion in the purely medical sense and
In the widest sense.
in the way that
Yeah.
it's meant to be used, in the context in which it's meant to be used. But they don't get that. I had to drive my old roommate, I had to drive her to the emergency room. Her husband was at work. He works like an hour and a half away. And she was miscarrying and she was bleeding bad. And I just bundle her up in the car, they already had a 2-year-old. So I grabbed little man and I got her in the car and I get her to the ER and they're taking care of her and lost the baby.
Oh,
They would just let her bleed out or wait till she passed out or wait till she was like, on the steps of death. And then
Yeah.
they would revive her and then they would save her. But
Maybe.
if they would try, I guess they would feel
Yeah.
comfortable legally to try at that point. Once the person is like damn near gone, probably hypoxic, suffering from brain damage, like any number of things. They wait until it gets to that level, but they say that's good because we're not killing. It's like, no, you're just making the moms who are pregnant, like you're making them targets. Like
Yeah.
babies are hard to do. Like it's not an
I-
easy thing.
And also, Mikey, but on that fact, like if they allow these things to happen, it may make it so the woman can never have another child.
Correct.
So they're actually stopping people from having, and they keep going on about how important it is for Americans to have children. White
Yeah.
Americans.
But you never
White
see
Americans,
those
actually.
people wanting to adopt these babies that
No.
they're forcing women
Yeah.
to have. That's
No.
always the crux, you know?
Always
I'm
someone
sorry,
else.
if they
The-
genuinely cared about human beings, they'd be fostering, they'd be adopting, they'd be looking after all these babies.
But to be fair, Cozy, I don't really want them bringing up children because they seem
well,
like
okay,
scumbags.
fair
Well,
enough.
Children-
Chris
children
C,
will-
sorry,
will break
sorry
you.
before we go on. Chris C's dropped a super chat in. Thank you so much. £5 super chat. How can governments force medical professionals to violate their oath to do no harm? By keeping her alive, they have committed harm to her and her family. I think that's a really good point. And we've also got a £5 super chat that's come in from Hannah. Lovely Hannah. Thank you, Hannah. Come on the show. Come on the show. You've got the link. Come on the show if you can. And then Darian, their £10 super chat, just saying test. I like that.
It works.
Thank you, Darian. Test.
Loud and clear.
Try it again, Darren, just in case. You never know.
Just test again. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know if it works on the bin side, so you might want to test
And,
over
and
here.
Scott in the chat says, "Blimey, this is heavy tonight."
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, it is.
But
Believe it.
what's funny about the Republicans and abortion is that 15 seconds after that baby's born, they give a flying
They
shit.
don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they don't care.
Yeah, couldn't give a toss.
they'll
Yeah,
deport.
just
or
go.
don't let
just
the
to go back
mother
to
be a
the,
migrant. They'll just deport the kid to a country that they've never seen before.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, can you come in?
Just to go back to the Tucker Carlson Ted Cruz interview, I was watching it just before the show when I knew it was the subject. And Tucker
Well,
Carlson, there's
yeah.
so many ad reads that Tucker Carlson does all the way through that interview. And they could not be more Republican ad reads. Right, one of them was for a gun company, no, for a company that said, "It's terrible that you could get arrested for defending yourself by shooting somebody with a pistol. So sign up for this service where we send you air-powered devices that will fire a projectile 60 meters, and you can't get arrested for it." Basically, and I'm like, Jesus.
You
what
think
kind
that's a
of
bad?
country-
You think that's a bad
What kind
thing?
of country do you guys live in?
Oh my God, was there a Republican penis
It's
bump?
upside down.
Mike, it's a country where they have 370 million people
I know.
and 450 million guns in population.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it like. That's the like.
But
Think about that.
Yeah, the
For
NRA,
me,
they
it was
want-
just. It was also just the way he was reading it, because the next ad was for safe crypto for your 401k basically, and he was just reading it like it was that, and you're going, you can shoot somebody in the face with this poison gas canister and you can't get arrested. Sign up here, $9.99. Scan the
You can
QR
commit assault,
code.
not get arrested with this product.
Yeah,
We need to do that here. We need to
Yeah.
do this on this show. We need to be like selling shit.
Ad reads.
Mad
should do
shit.
that.
I mean, would
Or
you
just
like
make them up.
Make
Would
them up,
just
you know,
make
like in
them up? Yeah, yeah.
RoboCop. Let's just make up like stupid adverts for stuff and say,
Totally.
"Hey, we're gonna
Should
talk to our
should
sponsor."
that be the test for next week? Like we should all come with a
A product.
Pre-prepared
a
product read. Yeah.
fully prepared advert for
Yeah.
a completely made up product.
They're
I'll
terrible.
tell you what, we should do it
No,
like
maybe.
Would I Lie to You? And you have to read somebody else's sight unseen, basically.
Ooh.
So that-
And say whether
I
it's
write-
real or not.
I write
Well,
one for
well, we
you
should
to
wait
read,
till Graham
Scott,
comes
and you have to
back,
read
actually.
it
We'll
all
do
the
it
way
when Graham
through,
comes
else we
back,
don't
but
get
yeah.
the money.
You have to
I
wait
mean,
till
I
you're
think
back
we
from
should. I think we
Glastonbury.
should. We could actually make it really funny.
Rachel and Graham, I brought this up in the side chat during your guys' show on Wednesday, but I don't think you noticed it, and I didn't hear you guys address this spoof category, right? I didn't hear you guys address the spoof category at all during your movie thing.
Go for it.
Horns, they're all spoofs.
Oh,
Almost every single one of them.
Yes. Oh,
Almost every single one of them.
That's really good point.
maybe we should just do a whole episode.
Do
Right?
a whole episode
Just
on that.
saying.
Is that
just
shaving
saying.
private? Shaving
10
private?
British pounds? Thank you, Darian.
Yeah.
Yep, test works on this side too. It didn't last week.
Star Wars.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now
Yeah,
we'll
Just
resume.
saying. You
We
missed
did
a
episode
whole
on that.
category of spoofs.
Yeah.
They're very lively today.
Oh, I'm sorry we didn't see that, Ollie. Oh yeah.
The XXX Files,
Yep.
Forest Hump,
Oh, here we go.
Raiders of the Lost Arse, The Da Vinci Load,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Flesh,
saying.
Flesh Gordon, which I think is quite
Flesh
famous.
Flesh Gordon is actually quite
Oh,
good.
this is beautiful.
I've seen Flesh.
Buffy the Vampire Layer. That is so good.
Mahmoud Khalil has been released on bail.
Yes. So this was the guy who was arrested for writing things on a blog or something. at his
No, that was-
He's been in
university?
jail for a long time as well.
No, this was the
3
guy who
months,
was
isn't it?
he was at the pro-Palestinian protest, and because he was a protest
Oh, that's why.
organizer, they decided to try to revoke his status and lock him up, and they sent him to Louisiana for a long time. So
Was
he's
it
getting ordered
Columbia
released.
University or?
Yeah, that was at
somewhere like
Columbia.
that? Yeah.
So he went to a student protest and they put him in jail
Yep.
for 3 months for going to
He wa-
a non-violent protest. This is
I think he was an organizer rather than just an attendee, but
Yeah.
it's,
but it was a peaceful protest, wasn't it?
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God, the land of the free, the land of the free.
But again, this is
Um,
all of this shit is distractions. Because if they put a tenth of this energy into, I don't know, fixing the economy, we'd have a fixed economy already. But they have no idea. They don't even have concepts of an idea of how to do any of that shit. So they'll just start picking
2
on
weeks.
people. Yeah, 2 weeks. They'll have it all figured out. AKA Israel's going to strike in 11 days. Got it.
Yeah. No,
2
maybe
weeks.
tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe
weeks.
tomorrow night, I'm thinking.
Everything's 2 weeks.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an attack tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
So-
Because they did. I can't remember which one of the morning show guys, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, or Seth Rogen, was saying, he does it at the weekend so the market doesn't fall on.
Yep.
He does it during the week, it'll crash the market. So he's going to do it at the weekend, so the market will be over it by Monday morning. It's like,
hmm
So all of his mates
Did-
can buy
did you
shares
call
on
Colbert a
Friday in
morning
all the
show?
military supplies.
Well, it is for me.
I know.
It's my boys.
But I
so
watch it in the morning too because
Yeah.
I record it and then watch it the
Yeah.
next morning.
I watch them in bed, so I don't get out of bed till I've had 2 cappuccinos. I've watched Seth Meyers, Jimmy Kimmel, and Stephen Colbert. And on a Tuesday morning, I watch obviously Stuart as well. So
Yep.
And Morning
Yeah.
Brew, obviously.
I watch Morning Brew every bloody morning. I take you into the shower with me, Graham, because I got a Bluetooth speaker in the.
Bitch,
So I
you
get
better
up,
lay
you
off your
start at
hair.
9.
I am
put the
playing with
Bluetooth-
you, Rachel.
Rachel, that's a whole nother video. that
I
we
know.
can
Scott-
tunnel
Yeah.
some
Scott's-
people.
Bluetooth speaker in the shower, so I take Graham in the audio of the
Scott's
video.
been triggered.
My politics,
Leave my
I carry
man
my
alone,
phone around in my
Rachel.
back
But are you
pocket.
Get your
getting
own.
ideas
Get your own
here?
man.
This is like homo FOMO.
Graham's not my type, but I do. But I have Graham booming at me. while
Graham's
I'm-
totally my type. I would so do Graham. You have no idea.
Ah!
Wrong gender.
Oh, you're so cute.
What, me or Scott?
Yes.
Scott.
Oh,
Scott,
I
you're
love
going
him. I
puppy
love
eyed.
Graham. Oh my god, I would
goodness, the
totally do Graham.
cuteness.
I think Graham's so hot. You
I'm
have no
blushing
idea.
here. I'm blushing. I'm
Um,
blushing.
I do think Graham's
Anyway,
hot.
back
That's
to
all right.
nuclear bombs.
Yes.
Nuclear.
Yo.
Great.
I'm dropping
Change the
nuclear
subject.
bomb on you,
Nuclear.
Graham.
But yeah,
I
I
get where you're coming from, Scott. I auditioned Graham once upon a time as well.
When I met him, I was like, oh my god, he really is hot. Like,
Can I just say that while I have a great deal of respect for Graham, I would not bang him.
God damn it. I thought you were a friend. Anyway,
Mikey
Too much,
and
I
Ollie
have too
Ball.
much respect
I'm
for you,
almost
Graham.
in that
That's the
category.
thing.
I don't know if I have
not
that
really
much
a friend
respect for
unless
him.
you objectify your friends, I feel. Anyway, we've got a super chat coming in. Sorry, we got to mention super chat. With my favourite name on the entire show, which is Storyteller, because Teller was taken 02. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Don't you hate having to plug in extension cords? Well, how about a plug socket that is an extension cord? Sock it to me at your local Woolworths. Love it.
That's
Sock
pretty good.
it to me.
That is real, isn't it?
Can I just add the other favourite thing about their name is that it's 02 at the end as well. It's not
Yeah,
even the
yeah.
first person that's
Yeah.
had to do
It's
that.
like
The original
that's like
one.
calling your boat the Unsinkable 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one sung.
Samusa is trying to come up with porn names. Some other people are coming up with porn parody names. Me and my mates were
Sure.
drinking once, and we came up with an entire list of Harry Potter porn parody names.
Oh yeah, that's easy though.
The first one was the Philosopher's Bone. Then there was
Yeah.
the Chamber of Hairy Secrets, and then there was the Prisoner of Azkaban Gangbang. The fourth one was, what's it really called?
The Goblet of Fire.
The Goblin
Yeah.
Party of Fire.
Yeah,
Then it was the
that makes
Orgy of
sense.
the Phoenix, the Half-Blood Prince Albert, and then Betsy Swallows.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you know I used to have one of those?
What, Betsy Swallows?
Prince
What?
Albert.
Yes, you used to have Prince Albert.
Yeah.
I have questions. Like, did a bit of wee come out the hole?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not getting it done then.
we can have a discussion about it afterwards.
Yeah, let's do that
I can't-
afterwards,
I couldn't
maybe.
deal with that because it's
Yeah,
Maybe none of us give a
One
fuck
offline.
about
We're
Scott's
just trolls.
penis while I'm trying to have a fucking politics show to people who don't know me.
I think
This is
fuck's sake.
This is what happens when you stream this on your own channel.
Jeez.
I triggered Mikey. I'm sorry.
It's not triggered. It's just like, God. It's
Ew.
just all
Because I have
penis
I
all the
have
time.
A very, very posh friend who went to Harrow, and he had his
Bro.
knob pierced.
If this is a
And I
longer
asked him-
penis story, then I'm also
I-
not
I-
interested.
I asked him if we
Are you
came out
accusing
of it,
me of
and he
having
said
a short
no.
penis?
Story.
Oh God. Here we go.
I guess it might make a difference whether it's upwards or downwards. Gravity, you know.
And the temperature of the room.
I genuinely do think we should try
Yeah?
and shift the
Yeah.
subject.
We should maybe move on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let Graham
Uh,
finish his anecdote really quickly, though.
One
because that's
angry
a little
pagan.
frustrating.
Thank you very much for the £10 super chat. In
Hi,
part,
Pagan!
Hi. In part, this abortion horror is a knee-jerk reaction to falling global birth rates, but really, this is a power grab by the wealthy, misogynist elite and their attempted population control. Yeah, it's eugenics.
It's
all these-
racism. It's racism as well, as I've said to you before.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah,
solution
yeah.
to dropping
don't-
birth rates is migration.
Yeah,
There are
migration,
enough
but they
people
don't
in the
want.
planet for sure. Everybody's
But they don't
complaining
want-
about too many people on the planet. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't want black people having black babies in the UK. They want white people
course
doing
not.
that. So
Oh, is
the way they
that
do
why black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth in the UK?
So, but if they wanted
they
white
wanna get
women
rid
to
of
have
all
babies,
the
they want any
abortion
women to have
clinics.
babies, they would give them great maternity cover, definitely great employment prospects in the workplace, great medical care. But no, actually, just take away their voting
Childcare.
rights. Take away their voting rights, take away their childcare, put them back in the homes and make them have children and take their rights away and go back to 1950. That's their strategy in the US and the UK, and it's not a strategy that women should.
Do you reckon the
really-
pill's got to get banned?
Oh no.
Well, they'll do that here if we don't fight for it. We fight against.
Can we just refer to some of the titles that Hannah and Supertansky are throwing into the chat?
Why aren't they on here?
Oh, what more?
We need
Yeah.
them on here. Come on.
Croc-
Come on, Sam. Come on, Hannah.
Crocodile done me is Hannah's.
What was that? Crocodile what?
Done me.
Crocodile done me. Sperms of endearment. I think Hannah is genuinely on fire at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
Foreskin hump we have as well.
Yeah, the
And
morning oh,
Jeff True wants to know, Graham in the shower in the morning, wouldn't that be morning screw?
the morning
Oh,
screw.
I like it.
Very good. I
I'm
like
a-
it.
Yeah, I only like women, but I get the point. Yeah.
Chris C wants us to talk about Palestine Action, which is a group that has been banned, expected to be a banned prescribed group after vandalism of planes at RAF and an RAF base. It's quite interesting today. The debate started about assisted dying, and some fucking politicians, some MP stood up and went, point of order. RAF Blaze Norton, or whatever the fuck it was attacked, this morning, and we need to do something about it. And the speaker's like, what the fuck has it's got to do with
We're
what we're
not on
talking
any
about?
other business yet.
You know what? I've been
Sit
on a lot of
down.
RAF bases. They can look after themselves.
Point of
Got
order.
guns.
Point of order.
Definitely got guns.
One angry pagan, thank you. Wrote Cozy and Rachel, of course, on point here. So you're getting a bit of love. Hey, Hannah's joined the chat.
Hey, Hannah.
How you
Hi,
doing?
Hello.
You okay?
Now
can't
it's a
just-
party.
I'm good. I thought after Crocodile done me, I probably should.
Yeah, you are on fire. You've got to take over
Classic.
now.
So how are you feeling this week, Hannah, about all the legislation and the changes that with abortion and with legal, assisted dying? Do you think we're gradually doing good things finally? It's been a year nearly.
I hope so. The assisted dying stuff, like I had an experience. So my grandmother passed in November. First experience of ever watching someone pass. She lived in Scotland. She didn't ever want to move. She was the wife of a sonar expert who died. He was part of the Navy a long time ago. And she was like, this is my life here. I've made it here. We all moved down south. Dad had his own family and had us and me and my brother and everything. And she was very happy up there. She had a very good life and best friends, and she did yoga every day. She did the splits, and she did 100 days of yoga and got the t-shirt, and she was a very fit and healthy older woman. And then she got Parkinson's, and then unfortunately she got Parkinson's related dementia, and then she got cancer on top of that. And she was always very proactive. She didn't want to trouble us. She didn't want to she sold a house ahead of time. She moved into sheltered accommodation, and then she put herself in a home. She never wanted to be a burden to anyone, and her thing was always worst things happen at sea, because of course her husband was always at sea. And I think if she had capacity, or there was an option beforehand, and she knew that this is how she would end up, because she'd been quite poorly for a long time, and then she started seeing things, and then we realised it was Parkinson's related dementia, I think she would have maybe made a decision that felt more dignified. But I do appreciate there is a very complicated side of this.
I'm going to turn them down a little bit. Darren Christian, 20 British pounds. Sharing the love across pond. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How are you, sir? But she's sharing something a little intimate, so I don't want to be super rude, but thank you.
So I think everyone deserves to have a dignified death, and I also think even if this doesn't happen and we don't get there eventually, I think that there need to be increases in care. There's a lot of young carers still. There's a lot of child carers that don't get financial or medical support or mental health support. I think there's a lot of work to be done with what we already have in place that would improve things, palliative care, for example. But I think it's a very complicated issue. But my feelings are, I feel like bodily autonomy is a big thing for me, and I feel like if you don't want to die a slow and painful death, or you have like a neurological degenerative disease, or you have something like Parkinson's, or you have something like dementia, obviously that's tricky because capacity comes into play there. But I feel like everyone deserves a dignified death and to go in a way that they feel is peaceful for them. I think there's obviously complications around that. The abortion stuff, pleased. It's an amendment. It's an addition to, I think it's the crime and policing bill, is it not?
Yeah.
I've seen an awful lot of misinformation today, though. At GB News, if you can call it fucking journalism, sorry.
You probably can't.
Exactly. I saw today said that we as a country had sleptwalked into being proud of killing babies.
Oh my God.
Did you read the document? Clearly not. Sorry, I'm so angry about this because people that don't we are very politically aware, like we want to be educated. I'm sure that we all read things that we disagree with, like we will watch GB News, we will read the Daily Fail, we will do all the things, even if it's to understand a different perspective, just to educate, even if it's only to sort of be able to formulate a better argument or at least understand where the other side is coming from. My mind is always open to hearing other people's opinions and being given new facts, even though I feel like I come from a moral and ethical place and I try to consider everything in the first place. I'm always open to new information, but if you're not that way inclined and you don't go and do further research, you don't read the documents, there's an awful lot of information that's out there now that's factually incorrect. And frankly, people like, journalistic media saying things like that is so, it's
counterproductive.
It's factually incorrect. And then people are going to read that, not do further research and go, oh, we can just kill baby nows. No one does that. No one goes.
It doesn't work that way.
No, exactly. So we still have things in place. These things haven't changed. 2 doctors have to sign off. You have to hit at least one of 7 categories. It has to be in a licensed premises or in a medical setting. All of those safeguarding things for people making the right decision are in place already. It's just that you are going to save people who go through a late-term miscarriage or a stillbirth will not be prosecuted or investigated. And there was this awful case of a 15-year-old, so she's a minor in her GCSE year, who was investigated for over a year because she had a stillbirth at 28 weeks.
Oh my God.
In her GCSE year, she had awful mental health problems, 28 weeks. You're not at that point, that wouldn't, even if she made a choice, which she clearly did not, that was a natural, awful, traumatic experience that happened to her. I think also
she's been through enough trauma.
Exactly. Like what I think people also don't understand is having an abortion. When you say abortion, I think people think you take a couple of pills and that's it. After a certain gestation, you have to have your labour induced and you have to go through the labour and birth process and actually physically give birth to a baby. And 99% of cases, they also will not give you a C-section. So you have to go through a natural labour.
You wouldn't want a C-section either.
No, and also the reason that they don't want to do that is because you then have the scar. And obviously there can be complications because it's major abdominal surgery. So I think there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's made me very angry this week because a lot of the headlines are very it's giving America. It's giving...
Yeah, very emotive, but no facts, no substance.
My bad. That's us. My bad.
It's not
Mikey's fault.
We don't mean you, Mikey.
No, not at all.
No, I gotta own it. When we do good shit, I'ma rub it in your face, but this is us. Yeah.
I mean, we colonize everything, so hands up.
We're not, none of us are perfect,
No.
That's why.
There was another outrageous story this week that I want to bring up. So, Baroness Casey brought forward a report that she was commissioned to do last January by Keir Starmer to look into what had already been reported with child sex grooming gangs, rape grooming gangs, and report back whether more investigation was necessary, whether it needs to be done, because there'd been a 7-year inquiry. Information had been dumped on Kemi Badenoch's desk, and she'd just thrown it in the fucking trash can or in a drawer somewhere. And so Baroness Casey looked at all this stuff, and she came back and said, no, we do need to reopen this and do it properly, because the Tories didn't do it properly. How did the Tories respond to this? Did they say, oh, sorry, we fucked up there? Yeah, we should have really done a proper investigation and actually, acted on the proposals and the suggestions made by that inquiry? No, they sent out an email to every single Conservative Party member with the words "We won" on it. That's what they sent out from Kemi Badenoch. We won. And there was a couple of Labour MPs who were going on shows and just going, oh my God, they are the worst. They are the absolute worst, using this particular topic to win cheap political points. We won.
Did you see her in the debate? She was almost rabid. I mean, just screaming and shouting about it. The woman's ridiculous.
It's to cover up for their own failure. The 14 years of government, they had the recommendations. They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. So it's just covering up.
And there was
their lack of action.
There was one Tory backbench MP, Roger Gale, who stood up and actually said, sorry, I agree with the minister that we should all be sorry about this, everybody that's been in government.
Wow.
And Badenoch just had a screaming match against Yvette Cooper, but I thought Yvette Cooper handled it really well. I think she just came back and said, look, here's your record, this is what you did, these are the meetings.
This is what you didn't do.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean, they're really not showering themselves in glory. But have you noticed how that the refuckers are all trying to just jump on every bandwagon coming through town? Like there was an interesting bit on Preston this week, where they had Richard Tice and they had John McDonnell, sorry, and they gave them quotes and they had to guess whether the quote was Corbyn
or Farage.
Is this really? Is this what television is now? Is this political discourse?
Yes, and it's all your fault, Scott.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Sorry. No, but I thought it made a good point. I thought it made a good point.
Enlightening, I thought. Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it made a good point.
Yeah, because they got them all wrong. Like everyone, it was like, oh, that's something that you'd expect Jeremy Corbyn to say because it was very populist and left wing. Yeah. But it was actually Farage who said it, because Farage knows that he'll never have to do any of the shit that he promises. No. It's like Trump and his fucking wall,
Don't promise anything.
Well, Trump and anything, because
why does no one take him to task about that fucking wall? Why does no one ever ask him about the bloody wall?
They will in 2 weeks.
His whole first term was all about a wall.
They'll do it in 2 weeks.
But didn't they build it and make the Mexicans pay for it?
They're gonna pay for it in 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
They wrote us a check. It's coming in 2 weeks. Why are you tripping?
2 weeks.
We're about to do it.
Like,
it's happening.
What the fuck am I doing here? I come on the show for 5 minutes.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic.
It'd be so great. So great.
I know why it's 2 weeks. It's because how long is your stay on Mars? 2 weeks. Right?
You know what? That's exactly what I thought. James O'Brien today did a whole monologue. Everything Trump ever says is followed by 2 weeks. And all I could think of was the woman in Total Recall going, 2 weeks.
All we can hope is that his face will open up into sections just like the movie, and Ben Shapiro steps out and says, "Just kidding. Everyone go back to normal. We can all go back to normal now. Everybody relax."
I'm sorry.
It's 2 weeks. I'm gonna say that about everything now. Anybody wants anything? Anybody asks me for anything? Go 2 weeks.
Concepts.
I have to say that is my standard answer. When somebody wants when they've got a commission and they say, when will it be ready? I go, about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
When's dinner ready? 2 weeks.
I can't think 2 weeks into the future, mate. That is like
exactly.
My
For me,
ADHD doesn't allow that far in the
if
future.
I get them if I get them to agree that it's in 2 weeks' time, I'm like, oh great, that's never going to happen. That's forever away.
I feel like
that's what he's doing every time. That's a kick into the long grass.
I think
It's
if you have,
it's him just going. You know what? We're going to talk about that later because I haven't figured that out yet.
What if Trump's got ADHD?
Did you?
He's got dementia,
Of
mate.
course he's got ADHD.
I think it's dementia. I think it's dementia.
I would.
He's not one of us. He would have
exactly.
He would have a
definitely neurospicy.
He would have something cool.
You don't ramble like that unless you are.
He would have something cool that he was interested in or be good at. You know what I mean? He'd have one hobby, like whether it's trains, planes, boats,
automobiles.
It can't be golf because he's like
pussy, but somebody else suggested gold.
He could, you know what I mean? Because if he wanted, all the gold stuff just proves that he's gay. Like this dude is a queen. He goes everywhere he goes, and he bedazzles the shit out of the place. He's closet gay.
Don't give him to my
He's closet gay. Scott, you know he's closet gay. He turns every place into a bedazzled mess. He knows what sconces are, and he's an 80-year-old man. He's gay.
He does Liberace his place.
Thank you.
He keeps dancing to the YMCA everywhere he goes. I mean, that's a bit of a giveaway.
Come on, Elon, you want to go hang out with me? Come on.
And you know what? This could be misconstrued.
Scott, this is a video.
It often is.
I saw a guy on TikTok the other day, and he was just doing miming to Trump's speeches when he says things like, "Oh, look at that guy over there. You're looking great. No, you're looking really gorgeous." But he does it in such a camp way.
I was in the shower with Arthur Miller, and he got a big donger.
Yeah, he talks about other men and how big their dicks are. Like he went
Yeah, Arnold Palmer.
Sorry, Rachel, you were saying Arnold Palmer.
It's not a 9 iron, it's a 9 wood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. He's getting out of the bunker today. He's
Damian to start.
I'm traumatized.
Thank you very much for the £10 super chat. I know we shouldn't, but does anyone else just want to slap Chris Philps silly? He's like a failed timeshare salesman.
Which one is he?
He's my favorite.
He was the one who did Prime Minister's questions this week.
I didn't listen to it this week because
didn't you watch Graham do Prime Minister's questions? You go, Scott. Honestly, take him into
yourself a fan.
I have a job. I have to work.
I have a job for a living.
But yeah,
I get to listen to it on LBC at my desk. That's all I get.
His first 2 questions were pretty good. They were respectful and it was like constructive. And then he just went off on his old Tory bullshit. Yeah, it's like someone flicked the Spanish fucking buzz switch in his head and he starts like just going, oh my God.
Yeah,
anyway.
Do you guys know which opposition MP it was that went on about the Rwanda plan and got owned by Angela Rayner? That was actually a thing of beauty.
No, what were they saying about it would have worked if we had...
he was basically saying 40,000 arrivals in the last 12 months on small boats, and it's an absolute disgrace, and Labour should have put an end to it, blah blah blah, and that we need the Rwanda plan back to be a proper deterrent. And Angela Rayner just turned around and went, in this same comparable time period, the previous 12 months, while the Rwanda plan was in place, there were 43,000 arrivals. So how did that work then?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't ever a deterrent. No one was ever deterred. They still came.
It's the biggest bullshit.
Yeah, all that money spent.
All the money for
get
nothing.
into a dinghy in Calais. They're not going to be deterred. They're desperate.
Look, do you know what's really fucked up about the whole thing? Mm-hmm. So a load of that money that was given to Rwanda, the Rwanda government, was then spent on militias to go out into their neighbor, Democratic Republic of Congo, and take over the mineral quarries and mines that were there.
UK. Yeah.
Can't stop touching
Paul
shit.
Kagame, the leader, he's
touching shit.
Paul Kagame is a dictator, he runs a very tight ship. Rwanda is one of the cleanest, and honestly, it's a beautiful country. And people actually wear crash helmets on the bikes. I mean, that to me, the health and safety in Rwanda puts America to shame, where you don't have to wear a crash helmet on a bike.
Why
in
are
most
we
states.
catching strays? Why did we get brought up? Like, why you got to use us as the example? Why couldn't you
Because
use
it's
another
just you would
country?
expect
He's
America.
triggered again.
You'd expect
state,
America
rogue
to
state.
be, when it comes to sort of health and safety, to just be a little bit more advanced than a country in West Africa with
They
a
don't
population.
know what health and safety
Graham-
is in America.
people.
They don't know what that is.
Every morning,
Graham-
Mike.
Graham, Graham was already in the house wearing his boots, realized that there was mud on his boots, walked back outside and wiped it on America, and then walked back into the house. That's what that was. He's like, oh
Every
shit, I got some
No.
dog shit on my
Health
foot.
is just expensive,
There we
and
go.
the safety is a catch on a gun. They don't know what health and safety is together. They don't know what that is.
See,
But-
here
but
goes Scott.
The
Here
fact
goes
that the
Scott. Look at
British
him.
taxpayer has paid for a military incursion from Rwanda into another sovereign country, which is destabilizing the Democratic Republic of Congo right now, and causing the creation of more fucking refugees, which is the
Exactly.
thing you're trying to stop, you fucking idiots. Oh!
Graham, this is necessary because we cannot tax rich people to fund all of the programs that we need. We have to do this and attack trans folks because that's the only way to distract people from taxing rich people. So as long as we're not doing that, case c'est la vie, you know, like que sera
you know what?
sera. What it is,
You know
it
what?
is what it is. I
When we
guess
talk about the different stories this week. Mikey, aren't you disturbed that another elected politician was arrested this week? Even though that they were let go straight away, that's another elected politician that was put under arrest.
Another one was shot.
I'm
Matthew
about to
Two was
say-
shot.
I'm about to
Two-
say
two were shot last
in,
weekend.
in
Oh,
Minnesota.
sure.
In Minnesota, they in Minnesota that
murdered.
guy shot up those people, and then he was going to other people's houses.
Yeah.
The cops
Yeah.
pull up on him in one of the driveways, and they assume it's another cop. This is the like, yo. I said when you let the genie is out of the bottle now. The violence genie is out of the bottle now. Good luck, everyone, because it doesn't aim
Yeah.
where you want it to aim.
Just keep low, guys. Keep low.
Because these motherfuckers
low.
are straight up crazy. So I hear all
Yeah.
of my leftist brethren and sistren about, oh, you should de-arm and all that. No, these motherfuckers are psychos. So I need one motherfucker. I need something to level the playing field when the fucking rejuvenated ICE Klansmen decide to start marching down the street and say, give me my white woman back. Well, he can have her. Just come on into this doorstep. Come on in. It's open. It's unlocked. Come on in. I got something for you. And it's going to stay like that until, sorry, white people get their fucking wild cousins under fucking control. Because this shit is beyond the pale of let's all just like hold hands in kumbaya. And don't you remember Barack Obama? Like, nah. I see that they're actively trying to hunt down trans folk. I see that they're actively trying to control women's bodies. They're removing the child labor laws. Medical debt is about to cripple thousands of families. The housing crisis is still going on. I see people setting up a stage to have complete disorganization, complete and utter chaos, so that rich oligarchs can clean up the mess and everything will be privatized. I say, try it. And there's a lot of us ready for you to try that bullshit because we ain't going. So it's going to be a day by day fight, and they're going to have to earn every inch that they get.
What's gonna like? I don't know. Like it is the hugest red flag to arrest sitting politicians. That's
Agreed.
that's a massive red flag, and everything you just
That
kind of
happens
said
all the time.
was-
Yeah.
Does
in
it?
America.
Yeah.
It
Arrested
depends
by
what
the
they're being
government.
arrested for.
Right. They get in trouble and shit for doing
Yeah,
shit
so-
like that all the time.
Yeah.
And even still, like the thing with Padilla, I think that's what you're talking about, Alex Padilla.
Mm.
He was in there. He was trying to make like a little, like make a show of it. And he was yelling over him and all that kind of shit. And they had their meeting later. That's how Washington works, where they have a 15-minute conversation behind the scenes. What the fuck you got to talk about behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying? So like that part of it, I would consider more theater. The fact that this dude was able to roam through Minnesota suburbs in a cop car And ain't nobody said, hey, let's ban people from owning these cars. Let's ban these masks. Let's re-ban the suppressors and the switches that can take your shit to fully automatic.
Oh.
They haven't said a fucking thing about that. And that's why I'm not like, you know what I mean? So like, I hear what you're saying too, but it's like, yo, the real dangers and who's going to investigate this shit? Fucking Cashmere Pineapple? Not happening. He ain't looking into shit.
I mean, no. When a CEO gets shot, it's terrorism.
Immediately terrorism, and now they want to
It's
reinstitute
terrorism.
the death penalty for Free Luigi. But they don't want to. But this guy, you know, we took him in without incident, and you know, it was just kind of calm.
Fine, and we gave him something to eat, and he was
all these black men was getting shot by the cops, and then people recording that shit on their cell phone because, you know, our department just doesn't have the money for body cams. So we fucking raised money and we put body cams on millions of officers. And what do you know? All that shit started drying up. Or when it did happen, those motherfuckers got prosecuted. So they are setting this up. They are letting things fall into collapse on purpose. So whilst we advocate for other things, we need to remind them that the day-to-day jobs need to get done. I don't like the police, and I never will. But they need to be going after these fucking school shooter types, just like over in Salt Lake City, where the two peacekeepers ended up hitting a pedestrian on accident. If they would have had some fucking actual police support to help regulate the route, maybe the fucking peacekeepers wouldn't be taking the shots, you know? And yeah, I'm out. You guys go.
Hey, thanks, Mikey. That was powerful and eloquent.
Self-arresting position. I don't know what to say. Like,
no, fair play. Like,
Arnold,
isn't it? It's
terrifying to me.
It's so scary. Like, and I feel like there's a little bit of a trickle down coming into here now.
Yeah, we feel it here too.
It's really scary. I don't know what this is. I'm sorry, this is not the fucking Labour I voted for.
Right.
Either.
You know, Kit Malthouse is my fucking MP. Oh, what a prick.
Yeah.
But it was like, you know, I wanted Labour because I thought Keir Starmer, okay, he's a, you know, human rights lawyer, good background, not very charismatic, fine.
Nerd.
Like some policies, not as progressive as I would like, obviously, because I'm a full-blown lefty snowflake. I don't take that as an insult. I just think that has, you know, that means I have human fucking empathy. Shoot me. Like, not a problem. But this is not, I'm very confused over what the fuck is happening in the Labour Party.
Well, it's Lord Glassman and the Policy Exchange Unit. Policy Exchange, anti-climate, anti-trans, and right-wing. You need to go after the full vote, which they're never going to win. And you've got Lord Glassman, which is like, you know, they've got a lot of, he believes in a lot of Labour vote, but not social policies.
Yeah.
And they think that that's going to capture the right, like the BBC, capture the right vote, got to capture the right. They're never going to catch it because the Tories are chasing it and Reform already have it.
Exactly. Like, even Palestine stuff this week, I have seen a video on TikTok and I was listening to it and then I had to replay it because I needed to watch the actual clip of the journalist referring to Gaza as Hamas-controlled Gaza and a massacre as a fatal incident. Sorry, are we talking about impartiality and you've just like sacked off?
That's been going on for a long time. It's just become more jarring now.
Exactly, and I
felt
weird about it for a long time. And I'm sure, Cozy, you've noticed. I'm sure we've all noticed it. But when I heard Hamas-controlled Gaza, I was like, sorry, if it's fucking raining outside, you report that it's raining. You're happy to say that Russia's the bad guy with Ukraine. What does Israel have over us for Keir Starmer to be taking such a
everything?
Guilt. It's guilt from World War II guilt is what everyone is dragging around with them.
Is that what it?
Everybody shut their borders and they said, no, you keep those Jews over there. We don't want them in our country. And then the fucking Holocaust happened, which is why America has asylum laws and why everybody is always anything we can do for Israel. We're not part of that generation. We didn't tell those people you're not allowed to come here. We would have fucking welcomed them. All the lefties would have welcomed those people, and in that time, during that struggle, during that conflict, we would have done it. Our predecessors did not. So now these people are doomed to death because our predecessors did not. We won't stand for it. And there is a better way. There is a calm way. There is a peaceful way. Or what everyone is saying, we're pulling the money out of it. We're not going to keep funding this. We don't want to be a part of this.
The mad thing is, Mikey, is that if the money was pulled, like that, the MAGA base wouldn't give a fuck. They'd be like, so what? We're not paying some other country. Most of them. I mean, I know they're split, and the topic of tonight's show is going to be about how MAGA's split on this, which they completely are. But you'd have a lot of Trump supporters, and he'd be able to weave the narrative that, you know, this is a good thing. What we give $3 billion a year or whatever it is to Israel. Now we're not going to do that anymore. They're on their own.
That's like I say, that's how Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson's kind of fight in that interview started, because it was Carlson asking Ted Cruz about his support for AIPAC, the Israel lobby in America.
Yeah.
And actually confronting Ted Cruz and saying, are you not actually supporting an organization that, you know, you claim to be America first, but you're Israel first, basically?
Because that's where the politicians get all their money. Like that.
Exactly,
I mean, they don't have to camp. They don't have to go out there and do all these stupid dinners and all this. They don't have to raise money. If they can get AIPAC on their side, they do not have to raise money, and they can float around for their entire term, not worrying about it.
Yep, just taking drugs and smashing up cars.
So there was the guy that wrote the book on the hard right and how it's joined up all over Europe. I'm not going to name the names of the groups, but all the Nazi gold after the Second World War went to this organization, who's been sponsoring hard right parties and hard right think tanks especially in London, who probably in some cases don't know they're getting money from these groups, but to push causes against anti-trans, anti-women's abortion rights, and and they're mega anti-Jewish. But what they seem to do is, oh no, it's like we're only after trans people, but not gay guys. All right, trans people are gone. Now we'll go for the gay guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we love Israel. We love Israel. We're there for you. But once they've done everything else, they are not going to defend Israel anymore. They are going to turn, because they're the money that's coming out of some pretty dark groups out of Germany in the Second World War. And there's been loads of books about this huge amount of money. They're fighting a war in a different way. They don't need soldiers and boots on the ground. They use the internet and think tanks. And they're moving parties to the right in Europe, and they're picking us off one by one. Get the transies out of the way, then get gay people out of the way, then take women's rights out of the way. Then we can go after Jewish people. It's just an indirect route. For me, it's a route mark right through all the rights, but they're picking us off one by one.
Divide and conquer.
America will go anti-Jewish. If Trump goes authoritarian, 10 years time, they won't care about it.
I mean, again, I put a link to a Friends documentary about I put a link about a Friends documentary she made 4 or 5 years ago about the evangelical money that's going into Trump's campaign as well. Yeah. And they genuinely, I mean, they're pro-Israel in as much as they want the War of Armageddon to happen in Israel.
Right. Yeah, they want to
Exactly. So, you know, they're happy to support Israel in the same way they are Trump as a broken vessel, on the basis that they fully expect all the Jews to die and the chosen Christians to go to heaven.
I call them Y'all Qaeda.
That's very good.
Y'all Qaeda.
One of Trump's factions do want the world to end. I mean, there's some of the tech bros who've got their bunkers and want to end the world for their new tech bro kingdom. Got religious Christian nutters on the right. Want rapture, they want the world to end, and they want to go to heaven, and blah blah blah. Yeah, there's so many people who actually just want the world to end to do their next thing, even though there is.
I mean, it was kind of, it was ever thus. I mean, that's where the whole Jesus thing came from, wasn't it? Because that was happening in the Middle East with the Roman Empire at the same time, basically. So history has a habit of constantly.
So say we all. It's happened before; it'll happen again.
So say we all. One Angry Pagan, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, mate. Just wants to wish a blessed midsummer before bed. Yeah, everyone, I hope you all have a blessed midsummer and a better midsummer than the people in the movie Midsummer who didn't have a very nice midsummer.
Shout out to Frigg, his deity.
Yes, it's Frigg's day today.
Shout out.
And tomorrow's Saturn's day. That's someone else's religion. There was some message from Tan that I wanted to bring up, but I forgot. It was a mile ago. It was about an hour ago. I was going to bring it up, but yeah, Tan made a funny joke and I was going to say it, but I can't find it now, so never mind. Tan says, "Go, Mikey." So there you go. I found one message from Tan there.
I have a message from Simply Secular Dave. Dave here. Don't miss DaveCon 2025 for Davids, and Dave enthusiasts. Try the new Dave simulator. It's Dave-tastic. You'll be Dave-mazed.
Oh my God. But are they going to invite Dave Gorman?
All
Dave, get
days
back
are
to us.
invited. Yeah.
Hello,
Question
Dave.
for the panel.
14.
What did you guys think?
Oh.
What did you guys think of Carney shutting down that presser in the middle of Trump going
Yeah.
off crazily?
Very good.
And
Well
then
done.
Trump
Very good.
taking his ball and going home the very next day. What the fuck?
I
I
heard
was
why.
gonna say,
I have
I
a,
haven't actually seen the footage. Can you tell me
I
what happened
see it.
with Carney and so this is the Prime Minister of Canada
Yeah.
during the G7 summit that
The
started
G7
on
summit, yeah.
Monday, and then Trump left early, and he said, "Oh, I've got this really important stuff I've got to do." And
Yeah.
he went in, he had a big flag. He had a big fucking flag. That was his
Flagpoles.
really important
Yeah.
thing.
He's
Yeah.
a
Two-
wreck.
two.
So
Graham, 2 flag.
Yeah,
poles.
two
Come
big
on.
flags. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry,
A big
Ollie. Go on.
event.
basically on the Monday they were doing a press conference and Trump started going off about how he basically hated all the Democratic cities and wants them to well, he was just going crazy. He was also saying Putin should be the G8 and Putin should be there and
he
praising
should have been
Putin
there.
and shit like that. It was just crazy the shit that was coming out of his mouth. So Carney basically said, "Okay, that's enough. I'm calling as the guy that's running this shit. I'm shutting this down," and shut the press conference down. Didn't let him answer any more questions.
Yeah.
That's why
Because
he
was
left.
just going.
Well
He
done.
blamed,
I
he
heard.
blamed Trudeau. He blamed Trudeau, and Trudeau wasn't prime minister. He blamed
Well,
Trudeau.
yeah, he was blaming
Yeah.
Trudeau and
don't have
Obama
that.
for kicking
It wasn't. They weren't.
Putin out.
Would you guys like to hear
Trudeau
some
wasn't even
tea?
in power.
Would you guys like to hear some tea? Let me pour some tea. Pour a little
So,
tea in here. I heard that he
and-
ran away because Zelensky was flying in that night, and he had to make sure he was out of there before
That's-
Zelensky showed up.
That's another thing. That's another thing. Since
And
Zelensky,
he
Is he
didn't
scared of
Zelensky-
He
Zelensky?
got scared, and he didn't want to. He didn't want the confrontation, so he was like, "You know what? Israel is really popping off. I better get back to Florida."
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
He didn't like the
Golf
prime
to
Basically what he
play.
did.
Yeah, I
No,
gotta
but
go play some
he-
golf. I'm getting stressed out.
Yeah,
the Italian
Oh.
Italian prime
Holy
minister
fuck.
and, rolled her
yeah,
eyes
with the
at
eye
him.
roll. Yeah,
The eye roll
But
didn't
the-
like that either.
That's the thumbnail for today.
we've covered a lot of subjects here, but in the space of this week, we've entirely forgotten his stupid parade last Saturday as well.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
literally the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. I
WD-40.
came home on that Saturday night. I came home and I was watching
as-
it live, and it was chef's kiss. It was wonderful. It was everything
Yeah,
I wanted to
ju-
see.
Just a comment on the squeaky tanks.
Oh,
As a guy that worked on armor, like that's
Yeah,
what I
they
did
all
when I
make
was in
that
the
noise.
military. It's impossible to get rid of that noise. The only
Yeah,
reason
they all
you can
make
hear
that
that
noise.
is
I
because
worked
it
in
was
defense
so
for a long
fucking
time. They all make
quiet.
that noise. It is funny.
Yeah. But I think that's the point, Ollie. That what is so funny there is it was just so quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah,
fucking
it's-
quiet. You
there
need
were
to
no
run
che-
those
there
things
were
through
no
the mud to
cheering
get rid of that
crowds.
noise.
There was a thing where he did a speech, right? And Fox added all the cheering. Did you see
Yeah.
that? They put
Yes,
it
yeah.
I did see
Yeah.
that.
I-
added
I-
loads of
Added
cheering.
canned
Rachel,
cheering.
I rather geekily had a look at that and listened to it over and over again. And I think that what they'd done is the background music before he came on had cheering on it.
Mm.
So when they turned down the background music, the cheering died as well. It goes like that. It just stops.
does.
Like cheering never stops, like just
Yeah.
on a dime. And it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They obviously put a layer of cheering over the audio of the music that he came on to.
Yeah.
And it was just it was like a comedy sketch where they come on
It
stage
was.
and go like that, and then everyone just shuts up.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
So
Did
sad.
the march as well? Like, did anyone else? Because I didn't cotton on the first time I saw videos of the marching, because obviously I don't have anyone that's a service person in my family. Like, obviously my grandpa was in the Navy.
Oh, the
Did
awkward
the march-
marching. Yeah,
That is great from day fucking one, isn't it?
yeah.
That's
Oh
your
yeah, they were doing that on purpose. There's
Okay.
no way they could walk like that without
No.
trying to do that.
He wanted North Korea marching like this,
Yeah.
looking
yeah.
at the great
He got a
leader.
bunch of lazy
Music. He wanted 100-foot
24-year-olds.
missile phallic symbols, tanks, and he got little Shermans and guys
Yeah,
just
he
walking along
did.
chatting.
And all the guys in the tanks were just waving at everybody. You go, no, you don't do
This-
this. Just
Those
No,
were
no,
the
no.
smallest fucking tanks, those
No.
Shermans. I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
No.
Fucking tanks.
Now you can see my mighty army and tremble. And then there's like a bunch of round doughy faced boys. They're like,
Yeah.
"Hi."
Best one,
It was the
Oh,
sound
with
of the tanks.
stoners walking around in military fatigue.
the best one was there was a guy just walking on his own, holding up a drone.
Yeah.
He had the
Yeah,
drone.
yeah,
He's like
yeah,
walking with the drone along the road, and I'm like, what the fuck is
He couldn't.
this?
To be fair, he couldn't fly it because Washington
He was
has
walking.
pretty
A
serious
ban, yeah.
drone,
Fly zone.
anti-drone technology.
But,
and shot
but
it
did you
down.
also, Rachel? I don't know if you saw this comparison, but they had 2 robot dogs. You know, the
Yeah, I
sort of
saw
Boston
that.
Dynamics robot dogs. But it was
Yeah.
Boston Pride at the weekend as well. Yeah. So at the head of the Boston Pride March were 2 gay dogs marching with big rainbow wigs on, and they were Boston Dynamic dogs, and they were better. They were actually under more control as well.
If the only thing that could have made that parade better is if the band, instead of playing Stars and Stripes or whatever the hell they played, they just said doot 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 doot.
I saw something on. Somebody sent me a link to something, and Russia Television were narrating it. Oh, here's the senile president with dementia.
Yeah, there was a North Korea
prostitute, Eastern European wife, and his very weak military, and they did it in such. It was hilarious the way the Russians reported it. I just felt.
Also, there's one of the North Koreans doing it as well.
Yeah.
Scott,
hysterical.
Scott, he wanted a parade for his birthday. Tell me the man's not gay.
Yeah. 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 Did you see It's true.
I want a parade for my birthday.
He said, "Can we have a parade? I need a parade. I need that.
Uniforms and everything.
I want many uniforms.
You know what? I want to see all the uniforms from before. Line them up.
Sailors look.
Paint the tanks. I want them to look crispy. I want crispy tanks. WD-40 the motherfucking axles. I heard the motherfuckers.
That's crazy.
He's gay.
But listen, there is one more story beyond this, because also no kings. You know, like we think, how long has Graham been saying to Mikey, "Come on, where are the people on the streets? Where are the people on the streets?" And there were
Mikey
millions.
delivered. Mikey delivered. Thank you, Mikey.
It's a big country.
Minimum.
It's a big
5
country.
million minimum.
No, it's not. It's all run by Mikey, and everything good that happens is Mikey's fault.
Look.
Everything that's bad that happens is Mikey's fault.
Yo,
Clearly,
y'all would love me as president. Love it.
Did you guys?
Before
Did
we
you guys
elect,
see the-
sorry, Ollie, I'll come to you in a moment. But before we elect Mikey as president, Chris C
King.
dropped in a £5 super chat. Israel complained about an Iranian missile hitting a hospital.
Oh.
What about the hospitals they've targeted in Gaza?
Yeah.
They are the biggest hypocrites. Yeah, and do you know what the
Rich.
Iranians said? They said, "Oh, actually, sorry, we were trying to hit somewhere else, and the hospital was in the way."
Well,
And-
actually,
In the way. Yeah.
there's a military base next door to the hospital.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's what they said. They're trying to hit the
So,
base.
you know, it's not like it was miles away. It's next door.
It's almost like
and
they
then-
put the military assets in the middle of the civilian population so that they couldn't be targeted.
Like what? Human
would you do
shields?
that?
Don't say.
Why would you do that?
Like
HK,
human
thank you very
shields.
much for the £20 super chat. That's really kind of you. Thanks to everyone. Mikey is a pure badass too. You got a badass, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Check
are.
out your
I'm a girl.
badass.
I'm a girl dad. I'm better than a
Great.
badass.
Can I just point out that in reality, I've got a badass, and Mikey.
Okay.
That's very true.
Came with a leather jacket and everything.
I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, Cozy. Well, good night. Thank you.
I
night,
want to
Cozy.
leave you with a little update.
Yeah.
I've got some good news to share,
Yes.
The
which
gospel.
is something we sorely need, isn't it? First of all, it was my birthday last Sunday. I had a
Happy
big
birthday.
party. Thank you
Finally
very much.
21. Finally.
Did
Again.
you share a birthday with Donald Trump?
No, the day after.
Oh, thank God for that.
God.
I know.
I was like, damn, Graham, why you gotta ruin the rest of her life? Damn.
Liverpool European Festival delivered and had 2 events on my birthday, which was excellent. So I had a good time.
Oh,
Did
fab.
you have a parade, or was that?
Well, no, but we've got an update on a parade.
Okay.
So you know
Oh,
how
concepts of
Liverpool
parade.
Pride was cancelled.
Yeah.
Yes, because of
Yeah.
J.K.
Well,
Rowling.
Buckley Spank.
LCR Pride Foundation cancelled the big shindig they do every year, but Liverpool Pride is still going to be happening. Other organisations have stepped up to the
Yes.
plate. Sahir are taking the lead. It's going to be smaller. It's not going to be from St George's Plateau to the to the Pierhead. It's just going to be at the Pierhead, but there's going to be a stage, there's going to be performances, there's hopefully going to be some stalls. So it's happening, it's getting put together. It's going to be different, smaller, but it's not going to be, you know, the day will still be marked as it should be.
Yeah.
So we'll
That's
have the
great.
parade.
That is great news, and I tell you what, I really hope as well is that Pride goes back to its campaigning.
Yeah, me
mode,
too.
because it's important that it does that.
Yes.
In Brighton, it's become a chance for heteros to dress up as in
Yeah.
rainbow wigs, and it bothers the hell out of me. That basically, it's a celebration of Kylie Minogue, not
Yeah.
saying
not a campaign.
No, it is going to be
because
much
Kylie wouldn't
more
marry me 3 years ago.
about
You're right,
advocacy and
Scott.
campaigning
You're
again.
absolutely right.
Oh, you married Kylie?
And
Oh.
finally, I don't know if I told you about it before, a friend of mine was detained for deportation and very nearly deported 3 times. And finally, after 4 months in detention, having PTSD from her experience, getting dragged out of Yarlswood at 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting in Heathrow for more than 12 hours, waiting for a plane to take off, only to be told an hour before takeoff that no, the deportation has been stayed. She's been released.
Woo!
So you've got to celebrate the small wins.
Where's she from, Cozy?
Fantastic.
Where's she from?
She's originally from the Gambia,
Yeah.
and she came to the UK something around 16, 18 years ago, fleeing domestic violence because she was a child bride at 15. She was fleeing her husband, came to the UK to stay with her brother. Her
Yeah.
brother has become a British citizen. Her child is British, her partner is British. She's been living in Liverpool for the last 10 years. She's an absolute pillar of the community. I know her personally. The girl, she cooks, like she will always bring food for like events supporting
Gotta
other
get her out of here.
She's amazing. She's an absolutely amazing lady. She's just such a star. And her family, there was a regime change in the Gambia when she fled, after she fled, and her family were political activists connected to the previous regime. So her cousin was murdered. She's had death threats. All of her family have had death threats. So it's not a safe place for her to be sent back to.
No.
All these years, she's always complied with the Home Office. She came with a visa. She had visa for many years. Eventually, she became an overstay. She's been reporting. She turned up at the Home Office every month to sign. I'm still, you know, on immigration bail. And finally, in March, on one of these appointments, she was detained when she went there to give her signature. She was just kept there.
See?
That's fucking nuts, isn't it?
Wow.
They fucking do that. Though.
Welcome to the Home Office.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what they do.
You're
Well, at least she's out now, and she's
She's
back.
out.
She's
Yeah.
out now. We're gonna,
Yeah.
you know, we're just so thrilled to have her back.
I'm gonna be over the water on August the 16th. So
Oh, I'm away.
oh, for God's sake! I was going to ask for Pride in Liverpool. It was on July the 26th.
It'll still be
Is
July
it still going to be
26th.
July
Yes, it's
26th?
gonna be the same day.
Party
And
down
if
the
you,
pier
if you're
head.
down
Brilliant.
around that time, you can come.
I
to the
can't.
Bistro
I'm
as
not.
well.
I know that I'm going to be away, so I can't be. Which is a bit shit actually, because I'd
It is
love
a
to
bit
go to
shit.
that. I know. It's also my mum's birthday around that time as well. So.
Hi, Graham's mom.
Right, I'm gonna go.
Bye,
love you all.
Cozy.
Bye.
See you
Love
later.
you, Casey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Graham, just so you know, if I ever meet your mom, I'm going straight to her fridge and I'm eating something. That's what I do to all of my friends' moms. I eat their food.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
fine.
well, my mum makes the best food. If Tansky was here, she'll tell you because
awesome.
Tansky's had a Sunday roast
I have
from my mum.
to, I have to taste it myself. You know, I can't really just trust what you're
Pretty
saying.
good.
I have
It's
to
pretty
eat
good.
it.
She knows what she's doing. She's a proper 70s mum. She knows how to. She's a proper Scouse mum as well. She knows how to like make stuff and make food and make. Where's bloody Scott gone? I had it set up so it went on whoever spoke last. So the camera went on fucking Scott as he just walks off to the toilet. I'm like, turn your fucking camera off, Scott.
Oh, we all want to see that. We all want to see Scott go.
I
to
like
the
to.
toilet.
I hate to see Scott go, but I love to watch him leave. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to bring the subject back up, but apparently there are at least 3 holes it could come out of, and we need to know which one it's coming out of now. So.
Well, he said he used to have a knob piercing.
Anyway.
Oh, maybe it's healed. We're
So,
okay.
well, presumably, if you leave piercings...
Sorry, Mikey. Sorry, Mikey.
You shouldn't talk about people's bodies when they're on the panel. That's awkward. Don't y'all feel the awkward, the cringe?
He's the one who mentioned he had a knob piercing.
Yeah.
But he's not
you
even
know,
here,
about-
though.
I know. Okay, when he comes back, we'll talk about it a bit more. Hannah's like, what the hell? I must have
What
missed
the
this.
fuck?
So at the beginning of the show, before you started
No,
watching
no.
Hannah.
Let's not do a recap, Mikey. You'll just
No, I
leave
would
us.
like the recap. Actually, I heard something about nipples.
Yeah, that's when I left. I was
Yeah.
like, no, I can't do
Maybe
that.
we
I
should
can't be
bring
dealing
that.
with that.
Suckling
Maybe we
on-
should bring that.
That was
back
fine
up.
with Mikey, but like
Suckling on
this is too
Trump's
much.
nipple.
No,
Trump's
no,
not in the
don't.
room. You know,
No. Anyway, he's back now, so shh.
two
Why?
rows
Why?
of
Why?
them. Graham. Or maybe 3 rows. Probably 3 rows.
Scott,
Hi.
Hannah was asking for an update on our previous conversation.
Asking about your penis.
Nipples, Scott, nipples.
No,
She was
Prince
asking about your
Albert
penis.
and his relationship with Queen Victoria. I think that's what we were discussing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Of course.
Do you have
Prince
a pierced
Albert.
nipple?
Of course.
Who had a knob piercing so he could tuck his knob away, so it wouldn't like stick out in public.
No, I
mean,
did
like,
it so
how
I could
big
put
was
it
his
in
knob?
boys.
What?
There
What?
it is.
What did
Did
Scott
you get
just
rusty?
say? What did Scott just say? I missed that.
Oh, nothing.
Oh
Just-
God.
Let me
He
hit
gets
the
demonetized.
let me hit the Pornhub button on the soundboard.
Did you get the squeaky? Did you get the squeaky tank button ready?
No,
Mike?
because there's everyone.
Mikey, sorry.
Because every video I watch of it, people are fucking running their mouth about how squeaky the tank is. I'm like, shut the fuck up so we can get the clip. I couldn't. I gave up after clip like 6. I'm like, they won't shut the fuck up. Like I can't get a good one.
Hey, I got it. I got
Mikey,
it.
find one,
I'll send you
I'll
the
send it
audio,
to you.
Mikey. I got
Salute.
No, Mike got it. He said that
Solution for you,
cartoon.
Mikey. Just find any other random video of a tank driving without a
Yeah,
crowd.
they all sound the same.
Record a squeaky noise. It's
Yeah.
all the same.
Those like
Download the Battle of the Bulge film. Battle of the Bulge has got a lot of tanks in it. They all make that noise. The German ones as well.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the video, and I'm gonna crop out the tank, and I'm gonna have it so when I tell a shit joke, instead of a tumbleweed going past the screen, it's like the
Yeah.
squeaky tank just
runs
slowly
along the
goes
bottom,
across
yeah.
the bottom of the screen.
It was
Squeak,
for
squeak,
me,
You're gonna do that with
for
gags,
me,
weren't you? Yeah.
It was the one tank slowly going. down
Little
the
Sherman
stage.
tank.
It was the one tank going.
I mean
down
the
stage.
I mean the Abrams.
squeaking. It
I
was
mean-
it was so genius.
The
Everything.
the M1 Abrams is like half of a football field across. Like it's huge,
Yeah.
and they have huge diesel engines, so they sound like a tank.
Yeah.
But then they have the little squeaky guys out there like. Burp,
Yeah.
burp, burp, burp,
There's a-
burp, burp.
There's a YouTube. There's a YouTube channel called Mr. Hughes, which
Yes.
is a
Me? Hello?
no, that yeah it is, and it's these guys who buy
Graham's
old
other channel.
tanks. They get them out of people's fields. They go all over Europe and pull back these tanks from the war, from the Cold War, and they get them going. It doesn't matter how rusty or how old or how busted these tanks are. These two guys in their wellies go out in the rain and they get these tanks started and going. It becomes quite obsessive to watch. Getting because it doesn't matter
Like
how old
power
the tank-
washing.
and they all when they do go, they make that noise when they move.
Or those fucking
Squeaky
carpet
noise.
those fucking carpet videos. I cannot not watch them. If I see one, I'm like, oh, that is a nasty rug.
Yeah.
Carpet
I'm
clean-
addicted to carpet videos. You have
30
no
minutes
idea.
later, I'm like, what is wrong with my life? I just watched this guy clean up. My
No, I'll
carpet
watch
can
it
be
for an
vacuumed.
hour at least.
I could go vacuum right now upstairs if I had some carpet fixation. But nope. I don't. Nope. My brand new vacuum cleaner gathering dust. But I will watch this guy watch a clearly self-soiled mud. Like it's like, dude, that guy clearly took some mud, rubbed it in that fucking carpet, and now he's cleaning it for YouTube. But I'm gonna watch it anyway. But
Sorry, is this a subreddit for cleaning carpets?
This is a real thing. This is a real thing on.
So they
on-
take
on-
like manky old carpets and they clean them.
Yeah, and people watch them. It's an ASMR thing.
it's like visual ASMR.
It's they're so addictive.
Yeah.
You don't understand, man.
Okay.
I am a victim of the carpet cleaning TikToks and
Oh my God.
And then you
Facebook
start-
So
videos.
is it like the filthier the better? Like if it's a proper,
Yeah,
it's just been...
as long as they go through the whole process of using literally every machine that you can think of to clean a carpet.
Mm-hmm. And then
Oh,
they
hang
flip
on.
it upside
they
down.
use a machine. Do they use chemicals and shit?
Oh yeah. All the soap.
Graham's getting into it now.
No, because every time I go on the internet to ask how to clean anything, I ask how to clean coins, I ask how to clean wood, I ask how to clean my
Coca-Cola.
arse, and it says lemon juice and bicarbonate of soda. And I'm like, internet, you are fucking useless. Can you tell me what chemicals I need to get to do
Well,
this
what they
job
do with
properly?
the carpet
Lemon
cleaning
juice.
they now they use every single color of cleaning product that you can think of, so that it's more visually appealing.
So
There's a squeegee involved.
Have the companies that make cleaning products got onto this and they sponsor these people to clean the, with their...
Probably. But you know what's the best bit is when they rub that squeegee thing across the carpet to get the water out.
The dirty water, I think, is the key. Is to watch the dirty water come off of the rug. That's the thing. Because all the like
Hannah, do you watch this? Do you know what they're talking about with these carpet videos?
Of course she does.
She's nodding. She's nodding.
She's nodding because she knows she too was
knows.
addicted as well, right?
She knows what's up.
Like I'm a clean freak. Like I have a label maker. I like everything. Nothing. Label makers are fucking amazing.
I've got one.
Do you have a
Yes!
label maker sticker on a counter somewhere that says label maker? That's a yes.
Should I?
She laughed because it's true.
That's a yes.
It literally says label maker on her label maker.
Should I get a label maker, Hannah? Because like all my plugs under the desk here, I printed out onto a sticky label, what they are the plugs for, and then cut out with scissors and then put it on the plugs.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I have this thing because I don't know. Some of you know. Graham knows. But I keep reptiles.
What kind?
Yes, I know.
I have a bearded dragon, a crested gecko, and I have a royal python in my house. And there's a lot of heating and lighting requirements. They're all on timing. I also have other things to check because I trust my equipment, but I want to check myself. So I have heat guns, all sorts. Very organized reptile mum. I love things as well. You know, we had our dog. Our dog actually died 2 weeks ago, so very sad. But R.I.P. Charlie Bow.
Oh, Charlie's a good boy.
Sorry, Hannah.
Thank you. Bit of a hard time. Feeling sad this week. I was like, oh, come on the Friday night. That'll be a nice time. I won't think about it.
Let's ask you all about your pets now. My bad.
No, let's not do that.
No, but I have everything very organized, so everything's on timers and things, because obviously I travel for work because I model, so I travel a lot. I was in Germany earlier in the week, and then I was in Peterborough. I live like Winchester kind of area, so it's a lot of traveling all the time, and everything's kind of automated, but I also don't trust my equipment, so I need like a secondary safety thing, and then I have
redundancy.
Right. I'm thorough, organized, and labeled at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a crickets bucket? Or do they eat mealworms, superworms?
I don't now, but I have. This is going to sound so gross, everyone here.
Yes.
Unless you have a bearded dragon, or so the crested gecko, like they basically have like powdered food, right? And it smells like bananas because they in the wild they would eat like the fermented like weird fruit that falls from the trees. So they have this like fruit paste, but they're meant to eat insects. I've had mine for nearly 14 years now.
Holy
and he's
shit. Wow.
He's petrified. They live for 25. He's petrified of bugs. So I started a dubia roach, which is a particular kind of cockroach colony in my house, in a container, obviously, because I don't want them running around my house.
Right.
To feed my pet, because otherwise you're spending like £10 on 3 little tubs of normally half dead bugs from like Pets at Home or something. So I was like, I'll make my own roach colony. But then at night time you hear them like scuttling around.
Oh
and
boy.
I don't mind anything. I just hate spiders. I appreciate what they do. I just don't want to touch them or see them because they scare me. I don't like that. But
And they're greedy. They've got too many eyes.
yeah, too many eyes, too many legs. Also,
Yeah.
their houses are invisible.
Are there no reptiles that only eat spiders? And you could get one of those.
No,
Spiders are
unfortunately.
good too.
I think cockroaches are all fun and fun and games until you remember they can fucking fly.
Yeah.
Like,
all
oh
of
fuck,
them.
they can fly! Oh shit! I keep forgetting that because you think, oh, it's just like a beetle. Ah, it's fine, whatever. You
Yeah,
slip
but
along,
these
and then
ones-
suddenly, like, they can fly into your face, and you're like, you motherfucker!
They are quite big though. Like I had when I was still living with my parents, because I had a different bearded dragon before this one. His name was Gary. This one's name is Derek. Obviously.
Not Godzilla, not
love
crocodiles. Like this is Jeremy and his
I think
roommate Charles.
Naming pets human names is the best thing in the world.
So do I. I agree with Scott on this one. It's just brilliant.
Patrick,
Scott and Paul.
Name
Derek.
your dog Bill. It's funny.
I could grab him for you now if you would like to see Derek.
Yes.
Who wants to see Derek? Hands up in the chat. Who wants to see Derek?
Obviously.
There you go.
Derek,
30 seconds.
I'm so excited about
She
seeing
loves
Derek.
showing off these reptiles, man. She is a reptile freak. She loves them.
Finally, Derek can get on the show. I'm glad we can stop hanging out with Hannah now that Derek's coming.
She does it on their TikToks as well. Like absolutely, they are very wonderful looking animals. Like they're crazy.
Before Hannah gets back, someone in the chat, because I was thinking about what movie it was, and Rachel, you probably knew this, like Saving Private Ryan. It's the movie where you can hear the squeaking of the tank.
Yeah.
And then he looked, Saving Private Ryan. Anyway, Hannah,
Derek.
show us your bearded lizard.
Oh my day!
You got to say something. Say something, Hannah. Say something.
So this
My
is
name's Derek. That's right.
Hannah, say something, and Scott, shut up.
look at the baby.
Oh.
Oh wow.
So he's a
Okay,
sleepy
can
bug.
everyone shut up apart from Hannah?
Look at this little bug. He loves the head pets. He's a very good boy. Everyone is scared of them, but they are just misunderstood.
Are people scared of your? Is that a beard? What's that one? Is that a bearded dragon?
This is a bearded dragon.
Clearly.
So they come in a lot of different colours. So he's not actually a normal colour. I can't remember what he is specifically. So morph normally refers to colour, and some colours are very expensive. This one I adopted from a house where he was running around with a Great Dane, and he wasn't really kept properly. So I adopted him because they didn't have the time, and they'd kind of bought him for their kids, basically. So he's a sleepy bug, and you can see he likes the little head pets.
Oh.
Little eyes closing. But you can see he's very gentle. So I call them my nieces and nephews, but they're like my godkids, my best friend's kiddos, who are like 12, 3, and 1. And they have a lot of time with the reptiles. They've held the snake. They spend time with the gecko. And these guys are really cool, but they're just a little bit misunderstood. And a lot of people buy them for their kids thinking they're really cool, and then don't really know how to look after them, so they get dumped a lot.
Oh, that's sad.
But
Oh.
he's a very good boy. He doesn't do anything wrong ever. He's never bitten anyone. He's not scary. He's just not cute and fluffy. I think he's cute, but he's not fluffy.
I think he's cute. I think he's cute.
I think he's cute. Look at that little face.
Oh, well, thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome. Welcome to my zoo.
Oh, where's he go? He's going. He's going. He's off. He's off.
Yeah.
Instead of having a parrot on your shoulder, you've got a lizard.
And I
like it.
sit in front of the TV, I let him run around the sofa and stuff, and he has a little explore. And he'll stick his tongue out.
Hannah, do people get do they come around and freak out, or do some people really not like them? Because I think
most
they're
people
kind
are
of fascinating.
Most people are really scared of the snake.
Yeah, okay, I understand
big is a
fear of
snake?
snake, but lizards, I think they're cute. I
It's
think they're kinda
clearly
cool.
poisonous.
The snake, my
Venomous.
snake is a pathetic snake. So he's completely white and he's got blue eyes.
We've all been there, haven't we, Scott?
I'm not commenting. I don't want to set Mikey off.
Just so cringe.
Continue, Hannah, please, about your white python.
God. My python is called Zeppelin after Led Zeppelin because we are a rock metal loving household. Obviously Derek, the names don't fit, and the gecko is called Fred because I feel like lizards are kind of weird. They're just a bit I'm a lizard. the snake's like really pretty looking, so I was like, I can't call you like Colin or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, you can.
That's
That's
such
what's
a
funny.
great name for a snake.
It's a great name for a snake.
That is a fantastic name for a
know,
snake.
What's your snake's name? Colin.
Aunt
Colin.
wanted me to call him Barry.
Very.
Even better. Even better. That is one of the best names for a
Bailey.
snake ever.
Keith.
I could-
Keith.
I couldn't do it. I was like, no, he's too pretty. But I mean, you can see though, he's very calm. He's very
Yeah.
It's just chilling. It's like your parrot on your shoulder, but it's a
Yeah.
lizard. That's pretty cool.
Which morph is Derek?
I think he's like a sunshine something. It's like a sun something. So he has the normal scale pattern, which means that like he's quite spiky still, whereas the
Okay.
previous one that I had wasn't as silky. They're not good. They have real problems with their skin because they require UV light, so it's quite damaging, and I wouldn't ever buy into that. But he has a very spiky scale pattern, so it's a normal scale pattern. It's something like a sun gold or something. So actually, when they don't have UV because his lights have been turned off for a little bit and he's not been under his heat lamp, he's actually quite pale. In the daylight, he has little bits of blue in him, and he's very, very yellow.
Oh wow.
So they kind of change with the heat and UV, which is really cool.
According to your description, it appears that he is type 4 out of 11 of bearded dragons. He's the hypomelanistic morph.
Could be.
Okay.
I adopted him, so the first bearded dragon I ever got, like I had a bit of a mental health breakdown, and I bought him, so I knew exactly what he was. But this one I adopted because she needed the extra time, and she had lots of kids and dogs and things and horses, and she was just like, I need him picked up now. And I was grieving the loss of my previous one, and I was like, oh, he needs a home, I can do that. And he's
I
been
love her hands.
Can I just say that in the chat, people are offering to bring their pets on next week on the show.
oh my god, please
I already did.
Show us your pets.
go and tell.
I'll get very jealous because Cat's allergic to cats and dogs. So ironically, we can't have a cat or a dog.
I'm allergic to cats.
So,
Get
but
reptiles. Obviously, get
reptiles.
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 And it's
Fish.
making me miss the geckos on my island. I had loads of geckos
With
in my
like
house.
day geckos, they're like the little fast.
The little cute ones who are like,
Yeah.
they make that like noise.
Cute.
And there's a picture on my Instagram, and there's a baby gecko on my thumb, and it's like it's honestly like less than an inch
like
in length.
super tiny, like are they the bright green ones?
Yeah,
Yeah, but they-
absolutely tiny. And he's looking at my thumb, and then I've got another picture of that same gecko on my phone because I had another camera, and I took a picture of it on my phone because he liked his own picture on Instagram. He tapped it with his little hands.
I don't know. I don't mean to blow your mind
There's
here,
a doggy
Graham.
in the background. Who did I just see? Where's the dog? Where's the dog gone?
Oh,
What?
he's gone back over there. Boomer. That's my pup.
Boomer.
Oh, come back, Boomer!
Yeah.
See Boomer.
I
Boomer.
miss Boomer.
They want you back
Come on,
on
Boomer.
camera. Come here, Boomer.
The giant
Come on, Boomer.
dire hound.
Come here.
Yes, we need. Maybe we should do a pets episode. It's a bit less depressing than our normal politics.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Everyone loves pets.
Pets and politics.
Pets and
Oh.
politics. There you
it's a
go.
silly puppy.
I'll bring one of my chickens on.
130,
That is a happy dog.
130 pounds of raw boomer.
About 110. 110.
Can I just say, not all boomers, just before we go in.
That boomer specifically.
Get so much blame. In fact, Samuel Summers in the chat has already just said, it's not all boomers.
Oh, man.
It's Graham, they have these pills that your partner can take. Then the cats don't bother you so bad.
Yeah, but they still bother you.
I have
Yeah.
two.
It
I'm
just-
allergic to cats, and there's 2 cats in this house
they
because
do.
my wife came pre-installed with 2 cats, and they were not gonna. I couldn't. So I have to just take medicine.
Yeah. No, you can take antihistamines,
Nothing
but
ever works for me. Like
there you go.
You got to get on the 20.
moment I touch a cat, it's over.
You
I'm
gotta-
a wheezy,
you gotta-
sneezy.
You got to do the
First
24-hour non-drowsy stuff. You got to take it every day, and then you still got to wash your hands and stuff around. Like I can't just like pick up Dexter and like snuggle him and all that stuff without expecting hell. Like,
The bit-
if I ask for it, I ask for it.
Yeah.
Hookworm. What you want is hookworm.
That's a
They
great
produce
pet.
natural antihistamine in your gut while they're sucking out your blood or whatever they do.
Sustaining themselves on me.
That's why no one in Papua New Guinea has any allergies. No one has any hay fever. No one has any allergies to cats or dogs.
Why? Because they have hookworms that
Yeah, they got
suck out-
They have no
hookworms.
cats or dogs or any plants.
the hookworm sorts it all out.
They
You know,
don't have
it's a
the
friendly
annoying plants
parasite.
or
You know. It's one
Sounds
of the
it.
good ones. It's one of the good ones. Right, we're gonna have to wrap up soon because it is past midnight, as we realise people do have to go to bed at some point. Are there
Yes.
any news stories from this week that we haven't actually mentioned? We've got through
Lord,
a lot.
I don't
to be
think
fair.
so.
There's
Oh,
zero.
What's Mikey showing us? Oh, Mikey's showing us a little ball of
Guys.
fluff.
Guys, can I just say good night? My neighbour's just come round. Her power's come off, and she needs me to go and help her sort it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mike,
Bye,
thank
Mike.
you so much.
All
I'll
right,
see you
mate.
next
Love you
week when
guys.
you're in charge.
Bye.
You're in charge next week, Mike.
I'm in charge next week. Yeah,
All down
exactly.
to you.
Don't come round next week, Michelle.
All right, mate. You
All
take
right,
care.
guys.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. We've lost our Mike. We've still got a Mikey though.
I
That's
wanted,
good.
I was hoping that Mike would stick around because I wanted to actually update you. I've been to see an ears, nose, and throat specialist this week
Mm-hmm.
because remember you guys all begged me to go to the
Mhm.
doctor about my voice, which is actually doing a lot better now. But apparently I have a very, 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 very deviated septum.
Mm.
He put a camera down my nose, which is up my nose and down my throat. And it was
Ooh.
horrible.
The old up
Ooh.
down.
Yeah. But he put some numbing spray in my nose, and it felt like I just done cocaine. Anyway, but it reminded me.
Task
anyway.
at hand, Scott. Incriminating
Anyway.
yourself unnecessarily
I don't do that sort of thing.
anymore.
So I'm 48 years old. I can't do that stuff anymore. But yeah, so
It's a
it
young,
was
young person's game.
yeah, it's a young person's game indeed.
Take a nap, do some coke, and pass out for 3 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You can have that elevated heart rate. I think mine's already elevated. So anyway,
Thanks, Grant.
they got my voice box apparently is okay. It's a little he said it was a little swollen, but it was all right. And yeah, I'm gonna be on all sorts of nasal sprays and some pills for next 3 months.
You'll feel better once it works. You'll
Yeah,
feel so
hopefully.
much
And
better.
If it doesn't work, I'm likely to have surgery.
Did they
okay.
check? It's
Right.
like, did they do like the tonsils and everything as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, and not.
Yeah,
not
they
actually-
shoved the
went
whole.
for-
They shoved the camera down me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I went for a
photos, it's
CAT
gross.
scan about 6 months ago, and I'm waiting for a specialist to go see the ear, nose, and throat specialist. I got some sort of blockage in there, and they
Yeah,
they
me
need me
too.
to go. So
He's like, "You have sleep apnea." I said, "Yeah." He goes,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
yeah.
I can
Bad.
tell." It's really bad." I was
So-
like, "Yeah, it's bad." So
and I tried the sleep apnea machine, and it choked me out. It didn't work for me. It choked
no,
me
you
out
know
because
what?
it tries to
Oh.
right.
works for
It
me.
tries to force you to breathe through your nose, and I can't. And
Yeah.
it just kept on. I just kept waking up not breathing.
Mine's great. Mine's
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
If I can keep it on, I take it
Yeah.
off in the middle of the night. It gets in my nerves. I just end up
Yeah.
taking it off. But yeah, so guys, I've got it.
Good
sorted
job,
out.
Scott. Everybody
job.
clap for Scott.
Yeah.
He listened to his friends when he was not feeling well, and we told him to get better, and he did. So
And, they didn't like pull a big like ball out of your nose like in Total Recall. Where they
More
got, like,
Total
massive-
Recall.
they just handed him a briefcase, and then he opened it up, and it's like, "Hey, it's me, it's me." But I can't do your voice, but it's your
We've got-
voice on camera talking to yourself.
We managed to smuggle 2 Total Recalls in.
I'm gonna have
references into the
Total
show
Recall,
tonight.
I'm gonna have
That
to.
is-
I'm gonna have
that's
to watch
not-
it now.
It's that scene. That scene gets me, and every time their masks come off on Mars and their faces go all.
Oh, and the eyes come out.
Yeah,
I just want to say hi,
Yeah.
Mom, if you're still watching. Good night.
Hi,
I just
Mom.
realised my
Good
mum's
night.
been watching tonight, so
What?
possibly we should have made fewer
Huh?
jokes about Scott's.
Horns?
If only
Oh my
somebody
God!
would have
Seriously,
said.
your mom's been watching.
If only somebody would have said, "Hey, maybe less about Scott's penis, more about the war." But
Well,
I
at
feel
least-
like Graham's mom knows me more than she should.
I think we all do.
She's gonna. Everyone's gonna. When everyone meets Scott now, they're just gonna give him the up and down, and they're gonna linger somewhere to see if it's in or not.
Like, it's still in there.
Okay,
No,
well,
it's
look,
not.
we're going to wrap it up there, if you don't mind. But we'll be back next week at the same time, and Mike is going to be running the show because I'm going to be at the Glastonbury Festival. I'm going to try and give you an update from the festival. If I get in, we haven't got our tickets yet. We're leaving it a bit late. Supposed to arrive on Wednesday.
So Graham, here's the thing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go in there with one of them little Bluetooth mics. You're gonna join the room from the festival, and you're gonna be our camera person to take us through the acts. Okay. So we're going to Glastonbury too.
Yes, it's going to be epic.
Through Graham. Graham's gonna get in, and then he's
I
gonna
really want to. I
live
want to get a
stream.
picture. I've got a flag that says "woke as fuck."
Cool.
And Mike has made a Spitfire, and he's done the Spitfire, but it's the Progressive Pride flag. So and it's me in the cockpit. It says "woke as fuck." That's going to be our flag, so look out for it on the telly. I want to get a picture of us holding that flag with Kate Nash. That's going to be my mission for Glastonbury.
When you're holding when you're watching a band at Glastonbury, can you actually see the band?
Yes.
Because like when you're watching on TV, you can't see the band.
He's got a very sophisticated set of binoculars.
Yeah,
What
but
do you mean?
like, it's
You
just
can't
flags,
see because they're
isn't it?
too far away, or because of the flags?
It's just flags. All I ever see is
Flags
Oh,
are dead
that
high.
would be
They're all-
annoying.
No,
It would drive
unless
me
you're
nuts.
right at the back, you can normally, and even if you're right at the back, you couldn't see the stage anyway. You're
Yeah.
looking at the
But
screens.
like they always show like a view on the telly with the, and all you can ever just see are flags. You can barely see the
But
artist.
that's the view from the tower at the top
tower.
of the sound desk.
Yes,
So that's the
yes.
sound desk tower
Yeah.
and the lighting
Right.
operation. So normal people don't see that angle. They can
Okay.
see it, but that's where all the flags are because they're all on 7-meter
I
poles.
If I just put
okay.
two televisions in my living room, one on each side, it'll be exactly the same as being at Glastonbury.
Yes,
I don't
absolutely.
need to go.
With less walking, with less like hiking from one end to the other.
Hey, I'm a,
That's what I'm going to do. Put two tellies in my living room over that week.
I'm gonna keep it 100%. If I paid the money and I got the ticket and I'm trying to see the freaking show, and they decide to fucking start waving some bonehead flag right in front of my view, I will pull out my little pocket saw and I will be cutting everyone's flagpole up. Like, you will not
Get out his
obscure-
Swiss Army knife.
Like, you better get.
I'm glad
the
you said.
fuck-
I thought for a moment Mikey was going to say, "I'll bring out my flamethrower," and I'm like,
I mean, or I'm gonna go in there and just like, if they were collapsible, I just collapse them. But like there is no way I would go to a concert and let somebody wave a fucking flag in front of me the whole time.
Mikey,
I
will
would be
cut up
fighting.
Mikey's going to cut up the pride flag. He's Lawrence Fox.
I would. It could be an American flag, a pride flag, an Earth flag. Get it the fuck out of my way. Get in the back with your fucking flag. Are you
Mikey,
kidding
Mikey.
me?
Makes sense,
I
especially when
can't
you pay a lot of
see.
money.
The thing
I
is, if you
can't
walked
see.
to the place where someone was holding the flag wouldn't be in the way.
If you are holding a
you'd be standing
flag,
under the flag.
if there should be a rule, if you're holding a flag, move to the right of the stage. Go all the way to the right, and that way all the flags can be represented, and then everybody can see your flag from a greater distance. But you will not obscure fucking
Mikey,
sight lines at a
Mikey,
concert.
you're trying to bring order to chaos here, mate. It's just not going to happen.
It's like when you go to the cinema and somebody with a red beanie sits in front of you and blocks your vision.
Oh,
and
that's
you know
me.
what? I'm
Sorry.
you know,
When I'm dressing up as Steve
6'1".
Zissou.
I am 6'1". It is guaranteed. If I'm standing at a concert, someone taller will stand in front of me.
I don't
I'm
get it.
6'1", and there'll be someone taller in front of me every time.
And I try to stay towards the edge or towards the sides
Me
because
too.
I'm only 6 foot, but my
Right.
shoulders are kind of broad. Short people can't see. They want to
can't see
fucking. They
past
want to
me. Yeah.
dance. They want to have a good time too. So let me get my
Sure.
big ass the fuck up out the way. If my big ass is standing all the way back as far as I can go and still see, and then a little 3 foot motherfucker get a fucking 9 foot flag right in front of my shit, no. Hell the fuck no. That flag is going up your ass. Ain't gonna be none. We ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. What the
We're
fuck?
just gonna have to find out what concert Mikey's at, and we're gonna do that.
We're gonna bring all the flags.
Yo, Mikey fights. Yo,
You're
Mikey
going to flag
fights.
the fuck out of that gig.
Yo, Mikey fights everybody. I will be throwing hands. Put the flag down. Go over there then. Then we gonna have to fight. If you don't want to put the flag down or go over somewhere else, we gonna have to fight. Because I'm fighting for all the short people too. God damn it. You're not finna just fucking block. I mean, a flag is literally there to be opaque. It is there
said
to
finna.
obscure. I'm Southern, dude.
You
What
waving
mean?
about?
Yeah, we'll wave it about a bit. We'll go backwards and forwards. Just
Watch
see every
the
other.
fucking band. What you waving flags for? You're
You're
not
not looking
part
at the
of the
flag. You look at the band when you're just waving the flag, and then
Then
all
what
your
is the
mates can find
flag
you.
for? To find
So
your
that when
friends.
someone makes a
You ain't got no
documentary
friends.
about the Bee Gees and it ends with Barry Gibb singing "Staying Alive" at Glastonbury in 2017, you can go, "Oh, that's my bollocks to Brexit flag." Glad I had that.
So it's completely self-centered. And it's all,
I made that documentary.
100%.
all about you and your
Yes.
flag. Fuck
Yes.
everybody else and their enjoyment of the concert. Look,
Yes.
y'all gonna have to
Mikey,
get
I
some
would
order.
never bring a flag to a concert. I agree.
I always bring
How
a
about
funny
this?
flag though.
How
in my
about this?
defense.
Y'all should have T-shirts and then be
Yep,
coordinated. So
t-shirts.
then, from above, from drone footage or whenever they look at
Mikey.
it, you got the perfect, layout, and it says "fuck
you-
Farage."
You're
That's
trying to
lit.
bring order to chaos, and it just never works. Don't worry, if you go to the Reading Festival, they got a no flag rule. So you go
So
there.
it's download.
There's
yeah.
no flags.
They've got no toilets at the download now.
They've got no
Oh,
toilets
let's
and
not
they've got
go
no
there.
flags. Fucking brilliant.
No one
And I
used
can
to.
watch it on
The
TV.
toilets
I'm
are
staying
download.
home.
There have always been mixed gender toilets. Anyway.
Yeah, we had to make them gendered just so we could exclude trans people. Before that, they were all just gender.
Yeah. right. And then we changed it because
It's
everyone
like
got
chess.
I
Let's
don't-
invent a female category.
Do you
so we
reckon
can
there
add
was-
trans people?
Do you reckon there was some, like, I don't know, restaurant owner or cafe owner who, like, literally converted their fucking toilets, and then they went, "Oh, no, you didn't have to do that," and they were like, "Oh."
No.
I
Probably.
just want to point out that while there are turfs out there, I went with my wife and her family members to the Backstreet Boys at Tinley Park, which is like the outdoor arena for Chicago or whatever. It was sold out because the original one got canceled because of COVID, and then so they had an additional year to sell tickets. 100% tickets sold. All of the tickets were sold. I have seen Ozzy there. I've seen Lamb of God, Killswitch. I've seen everybody at Tinley Park. I ain't never seen it fucking scooting through people like fucking March of the Penguins. The entire fucking the whole place was like this. It was just so full of people. Penguins everywhere. I had to pee. I stood in line for 15 minutes to get my wife some French fries because she was pregnant at the time. So Kira got to go to the concert too. She was she got in for free. But I had to pee. So then I go to the bathroom. The line for the bathroom was long, and I was like, this is different. And then I realized it was all women in line for the men's restroom because they had just taken the men's room because we had 2 stalls in there. So the line was going all the way through the men's room whilst we tried to pee in our urinals. The women are sitting there on their cell phones, just having a good old time. Now, normally, I would have peed on those women, but I did not want to go to jail that day for that reason.
What the fuck?
That's what they shouldn't be in there.
Normally, I
What
would
kind
have
of
peed on-
fetish?
You only do that
Get
when you
the
sunflower
fu-
jellyfish.
Normally, I'll urinate on these women.
This is
I'm
my
gonna pee on
bathroom. I
all
do
of
whatever I want in here. Y'all shouldn't be in here. But just like they
They're
want
having to queue because of architectural sexism.
don't try to pull the architectural sexism now.
Men
They
don't
could-
have to queue.
Okay.
You just get a cup. I didn't
Yeah,
even
well,
leave the crowd.
That is my point. Next time I'm just peeing on the side. I'm peeing on the side of the restroom
Download, they just
instead
pee where they
of
stand.
in the restroom.
Anywhere, to be fair, like the guys can pee anywhere. Like
Yeah.
they don't account
they
for
do.
the amount of more women's bathrooms that we need.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah,
Tampon,
systemic misogyny.
pad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
The
and I've been a download and people
And the
like
men's-
you could be I've been a download. You could be sitting on the floor and someone will come next to you and start peeing.
yeah,
Yeah, I just find Graham's tent wherever
Like
wherever it is.
doing, bro?
Just
Man, I really gotta go. Where's
on and the
Graham's
fairy lights and the flag, the big fuck off flag. That's always dead funny.
I think one of the funniest flags I did see before they banned him at download was a guy, his homosexual, with his pride flag. Right, he was wearing a pink cowboy hat and a pair of hot pants and some pink cowboy boots, and that was 8. And he's at Download Festival. He went down there for Cradle of Filth, and he had that big ass rainbow flag. And I have photographs of this rainbow flag in front of Danny Filth on the stage. And I always call it Cradle of Pride. Fucking brilliant.
Fan-fucking-tastic. All right, well, we're going to leave it at that. So thank you so much to Mikey, to Ollie, to Scott, to Rachel, and to Hannah, and for also Cozy and Mike on earlier. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everyone who dropped the super chat in tonight as well. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Like I said, we'll be back next week with Mike in charge, and I'm going to be reporting from Glastonbury. I think. I don't know. I might be really drunk. It might be too loud. I might not be able to get phone reception. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on. But until next time. What?
Yeah,
I've got plenty of excuses.
No weakness.
No weakness.
And I'll be back on Sunday with Morning Brew at 9 o'clock on Sunday. So.
And Derek says goodbye.
Bye.
The star of the show, Derek.
Yeah.
Oh, can't do that. Can't do that, Barry. I'm a Derek. And Derek's don't man. All right. Until next time. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.
All right, all you beautiful Binsters, we're still live over here. So, all of yous, please, on the panel, please, let's schedule when you guys can come onto the show again, except for Hannah, who hasn't been there yet. But everybody else, I gotta book you guys for June. I was supposed to do that already. So maybe July. I'll start booking for July. And thank you guys for your generosity over in the super chats. Let's get some air horns. Let's get an I love Tesla.
I love Tesla.
I love Tesla. And
It's all computer.
I need
It's
to
all
get out.
computer.
I do have some new additions.
2 weeks.
Squeak.
2 weeks.
I do have some additions to the soundboard, including the Scooby feet, which I'll enjoy. I know. I'm saying it. I'm saying it to you while I play it because you can't hear it. The 6
Bleach
Bs.
blonde, bad built butch body.
Bleach, butch blonde, butch body. That one. And there's some other greats from the fallout of the right wing. So we will see you guys. I might get a weekend show going. You know, like a panel show. Maybe even like argue with MAGA.
Ooh.
I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I know as soon as I bring them on camera, they're gonna just say something racist or put up porn or something like that, and then get the fucking channel taken down because they're trolls. But we'll see. We'll see how we can figure out how to argue with them in a way that I can easily mute them.
Maybe we could run a 30-second delay like Graham does or so.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You can't stop it once it's started to stream. You don't have. There's no dump. There's no 30-second dump. That takes different technology. But
I don't think I've ever taken a 30-second dump.
I was really sick one time. No.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching. We love you so much. We love you. We love you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I did this. Why can't you?